Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay para emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te la ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón, yeah. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money world. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money world. Se arregla con dinero. Money world. Lunes. Lunático.
Nothing can stop me. No. 'Cause I'm addicted to what you and I
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción, yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo fue. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. De corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah, 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 yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Lunes. Lunático.
In this moment, I cannot say what's wrong or right. It's not hard to fool me, 'cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no better one. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yeah, and nothing can stop me, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Yeah, susceptible now before the moment flies, before it flies. So tell your good night, 'cause I'll buy no matter what. Susceptible now before the moment flies.
Yeah. Looney. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Si me quiero educar, dormir en algún lugar, un lugar para trabajar, y si no hay pues emigrar. Todo money, money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienes lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te lo ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. Yeah. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Yeah. Money work. De corazón, la plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, yeah, de corazón, de corazón.
Hey guys, welcome. My name's Jeff. I am what Kevin would always mention his best friend. I'm the person that Kevin would bounce things off of, as he would say, level setting. I was one of the level setters in his life. I was one of the people Kevin would call on to make sure he was trying to be on his path and mission. And today we want to recognize Kevin, remember Kevin. Today would have been his birthday. And I'm just want to share with you maybe some few stories about Kevin real quick. Things that you all maybe haven't heard, and things that let you kind of know who he was and who he was to me personally. Now, when I met Kev, and I would say Kevin, I would say, man, this guy walked in when I met him. Probably like some of you watching, you know, man, he's just to the point. He's direct. I don't know if I like this guy. I don't like the way he's talking. He seems cocky. He seems arrogant. Yeah, I thought that too. That's what I thought of him. He's full of himself. But after getting to know him, after having some conversations, after he and I really sat down, I really saw who he was. He really was somebody that when I first met him, we were working together, and those were the impressions I got from him. But then in working with him, I saw a humbled person, someone who wanted to be better, someone who came up to me and said, hey, show me what you're doing so I can be better at what we're doing, and I can be, have better success in my selling. And that conversation showed me right then and there, this guy is not what I thought he was. I let my own filters of seeing someone 6'4", 6'5", clean dressed, sharp dressed, walked in, he had confidence. But we always misinterpret confidence as arrogance. And I totally missed it. It wasn't cockiness or arrogance. It was just somebody who just believed in himself. And truth be told, most of us don't believe in ourselves because we take that as a pushback. And I did, honestly, I did, like most people. But getting to know Kev really let me know this guy was much more than just a sharp-dressed man. This brother was caring. He, loved his family, loved his mom, loved his daughter, just loved people in general, and wanted everyone to have more success in life. And I think if you really watch his channel, you really see that. If you are a Kevin Samuels fan, you've heard what he says, and you felt his heart felt pleased to people to be better. He didn't have to have a YouTube show 3 hours a night, 3 days a week, and be on Instagram for another 2 to 3 hours a week, because he was consulting with people after hours, after the shows, having 1 hour consults with people all around the world. Kevin talked to people from, when I say all over the world, I mean all over the world, China, Australia, England. He had people that he talked to, not fans necessarily, but people that wanted some help. And Kevin wanted to make sure he could help them. So he took time out. Yeah, they paid him for time, but he gave everything he could to people. And when you talk to people that had consultations with him, and I've talked to quite a few of them, they were thankful for the time he spent with them. And he was the person that would talk to them in a way that they needed to be talked to. And on the show, he did that too. He talked to people the way people need to be talked to sometimes. And for a lot of us, we didn't like the way he maybe said something. I didn't like everything Kevin said, but I knew why he was saying it. And I knew he wanted that person he was talking to hear it. And you've heard him say, when you go in the emergency room, the doctors, you're having life-threatening ailments, doctors sometimes get really direct with you. And Kevin was direct sometimes. And sometimes directness hurts. Honesty hurts sometimes. We want to be massaged, and he didn't massage people's egos and their everything, but he didn't massage mine either. Trust me, we had some matches, some yelling, mostly from me at him, but we always came back to he was only trying to help me be better, and I was only trying to help him be better. And when he would call after the show, before the shows that you saw, sometimes it was just like, hey man, how was the show? It was good, man. Like you were trying to, you did your best. And that's all he wanted to do. He wanted to give his best, do his best for the audience and for the person he was talking to. He wanted the person he was talking to have more for their life. And those conversations meant so much to him. And the audience meant so much to him, and he didn't take any of it for granted. He worked harder than anybody than I've ever known in my life. Like I said, those shows he did, you saw him do the shows. You didn't see what he didn't show you, which is his consults every day, 6, 7 days a week. He did consults on Christmas Day, Thanksgiving Day. The Thanksgiving before he actually passed, that Thanksgiving, he had a consult that day, and I told him, hey man, don't have a consult that day. Go spend time with your family on this day. Oh no, they're gonna be okay. I know he had the consult because he was that dedicated to the people. And that dedication never wavered. He always had North Star, and I told him his North Star was to have more black families, more husbands and wives, support the community, uplifting families. He wanted to see more of that. And when he said on the show, he absolutely meant it. He wants that. He wanted it. He wants it. And his legacy is going to be for that to occur for him, in this lifetime that will go past him. But the time he was here, and my friend was just incredible. Incredible. He was humbled by the success from the time that Average at Best happened. He called me literally like the day after it hit, and it was getting, 1,000, 2,000, 10,000, 100,000, close to 1 million views. He says, "Hey man, like it's happening. And I just told him, I said, "Man, you ready?" I said, "Ted, are you ready? Because it's coming." He was like, "Yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready." And in being ready, that meant never forgetting what he told you, where he came from, being from Oklahoma City, being from a single parent house, growing up, not with everything. Not to say he was broken poor. He wasn't necessarily broken poor. He wasn't. But he didn't have everything. And everything is relative, right? Relative to your own life. You see somebody that has something you don't have, then they have maybe more than you. But he didn't want for a lot of things in his life. But he didn't have everything. None of us usually do. But what he did have, man, he had lots of love. He came from love, and he gave love. Now, on the show, some people say, "Oh, he was evil. He was mean. He was great." But what he never was he was never one that wanted to truly hurt anyone's feelings. He didn't want to hurt people. He wanted people to be better. Now, he wasn't a pushover, right? You couldn't just talk to him any kind of way. I couldn't talk to him any kind of way. Nobody could. Nobody in his entire life. Talking to his mom. She'll tell you, you couldn't talk to him any kind of way because he'd tell you his opinion and you may not like it, but he's going to give it to you. And guess what? He had a show where he gave his opinion. What else? Like the best thing for him, a place for him to speak his mind. But his mind was always on one thing, helping people. He wanted to see the family unit happen again and grow. And so in this year from his passing, a year from his birth date, you know him as the Godfather. I just know him as Kevin. Kev to me. He called me before shows. He called me after shows. So my phone would ring. I'm an hour behind when he was in Atlanta. His show would be over midnight. My phone would ring. I'm laying in bed sometimes. I knew it was him. I take his call because he was calling me not to brag about anything on the show. Usually it was when you saw him exhausted at the end of some of those calls, he was exhausted. He was worn out. He was questioning, should I keep doing this some nights? And I tell him, I say, "Man, what's your North Star? Why are you doing this? You got a purpose. You got a purpose. You started for a purpose, continue for a purpose." He did. He kept it for a purpose. So I miss my friend way more than probably you guys miss the Godfather, Kevin Samuels. My best friend. Love him, miss him. But just know, I know he's looking down on us, celebrating with us today as we celebrate him. So thank you guys for being here to celebrate Kevin Samuels, one of my best friends in the entire world. Love him and miss him. I know you do too. Thanks for being here.
Hello, I'd like to first say happy birthday to the late, great Kevin Samuels, and I want to acknowledge his presence in his life. Although he is now gone on with the ancestors, his work will not be forgotten. I had the pleasure of being able to hang out with him on his last birthday while he was here with us, and it was my honor and pleasure to spend that evening with him. I didn't know it was his birthday. He kind of surprised us with the fact that it was his birthday, and I have a couple of videos I'd like to share with you guys. They're definitely very interesting and very funny. So here's one. And so that's how I like to remember him. And I hope you all will remember him that same way. He was a, once you got him to loosen up a little bit as much as he could loosen up, right? The man literally said that he enjoyed his suits, so but no, he was a great guy. His impact is being felt around the world. Brilliant mind, brilliant salesman, wonderful personality. He was everything that we needed when he came through. I know that the good Lord has a reason for whatever he does and whatever. So I don't question the Lord. Of course, we wish he could have stayed a little bit longer. But at the end of the day, he made such a great impact on the world that he will always be remembered. And so I just want to acknowledge his family and his friends and his mother and his daughter and his best friend, Jeff. Shout out to all you guys. Thank you for keeping his spirit alive. I got one more video I'd like to share with y'all, and you can check it out. Yeah, so that's it, man. That's it. Rest in peace, Kevin. We appreciate you. We love you. We respect you. We honor you. Thank you so much for your hard work and dedication. As I always say, this is Uncle D. I'm out. And God bless you and God bless this wonderful man's memory.
Kevin was a person that was very forward thinking, very ambitious. None of us as content creators would be able to hold a torch or even step in his shoes. But what he's done for not even just black content creators, but black men in general, was to really give black men a source of identity as far as controlling our image and controlling our ability to be somebody, and that we could be what we thought we could be if we just went out and tried. And that's something that Kevin Samuels doesn't get a lot of credit for. He gets credit for, let's say, holding women accountable, or letting women know the reality of where they may have been in the dating market. But in the real sense, Kevin Samuels' content was about the high value man, and the high value man himself had some level of accountability to be able to make his own decisions. And I never knew anybody in this business that worked like Kevin Samuels. He was working all the time. He was always trying to get himself into better circles. He was always trying to better himself, sell himself, in as far as what value he could offer, and he did that. He loved collaboration. He was never a jealous brother, and that's what I really, really, really love about him so much. And I think a lot of people get Kevin Samuels and his content misconstrued. He was a brother that was very forward thinking. He thought about things before he did it, and I learned how to also be forward thinking and ambitious. I also want to give credit to Kevin Samuels for what he did for dating and relationships. People look at what he did as far as holding people accountable for those viral moments. But Kevin Samuels, the reason that many people loved him, like as far as women, was the fact that he brought a lot of men and women together. People don't want to realize that Kevin Samuels had a large female following, and that female following wanted to become more fit, feminine, and beautiful for the men that they wanted. And that's something that he doesn't get a lot of credit for. But I want to give him credit for doing just that. I know many people, numerous people who got married because of Kevin Samuels. I know of marriages that were saved. I want to talk about one particular time. Kevin was trying to recruit me to come to Atlanta, and it would have worked, but he just ended up passing, right? So he's like, O'Shea, you should come to Atlanta because people know you, and we can do a lot together. Of course, I was the kind of guy that did a lot of the background work and did a lot of the connecting work for Kevin, and he was the more of the person that was in the camera. But I did a lot of things behind the scenes for Kevin Samuels and some other brothers in our space. But before we ended that call, there was a gentleman that stopped Kevin that happened to be an Atlanta police officer. And I heard him in the background, yo, Kevin. I would always hear that whenever me and him was on the phone. He would always get people walking up to him and yelling and yelling and yelling. I have another good friend of mine's YouTube, a brother named Ward and Maya, And every time I see word of mouth, people are always yelling at him to stop and acknowledging him. And that's the same kind of celebrity status that Kevin Samuels had, if not even more. So this particular guy was like, Kevin, man, before your show, me and my fiance were getting ready to split up. But after listening to you and the way you break things down, my woman's been appreciating me. She's been acting right. We're getting ready to be back on the we're back on the track of getting married. And Kevin don't know, you don't know what you've done for me. Is there anything I can do for you? And Kevin was like, nah, man, I'm just glad I was able to do that. But that was a story that Kevin transcended the red pill. He transcended the black manosphere community. There was white men that loved Kevin. When Kevin passed, I saw comments of people saying if Kevin came to Australia, he would have sold out any stadium. My editor is from Russia, and when Kevin died, it was men in Russia that was mourning. And you never thought about how a black man from Oklahoma City who did a live stream at 10 o'clock at night trying to reach the black community had so much of an impact on the world. And he allowed women to be able to see themselves, and he could communicate with women in ways that many of us as black men could not and still cannot. And that's why somebody like Kevin Samuels comes around once every 200 years, I will believe, because his uncanny ability to relate, and not only just relate, but to inspire both men and women. So on this day, I want to give my gratitude to our fallen brother for what he's done for me, not only just in this business, but personally. I'm a very hardworking YouTuber, but Kevin really inspired me to want to take it to the next level. And so many of the projects that me and him had, we have one that he inspired me. I don't want to mention the name of it right now, but if it wasn't for Kevin, I wouldn't have that. So I just want to tell his family that I love Kevin Samuels. He's always going to be dear, and it's hard to still believe that he's gone. The last time I talked to him was on May the 2nd, and on May the 5th, he was gone. So I just want to cherish the moment, and I appreciate being able to be invited to speak on his behalf and on this great day. So thank you so much for having me, and we'll always remember the great Kevin Rashawn Samuels.
What's going on, friends? It's Anton Daniels. I'm incredibly honored to be able to speak on and then share some of the experiences that I had with Kevin Samuels as a good friend. I think that he was incredibly insightful. The short amount of time that he had on this earth, because he was taken from us too early, in my opinion, but that's not up to me, that's up to God. I'm very, very, very thankful to have had a friendship with him in the first place. And I think that the things that he espoused and the words that he shared with us, the entertainment that he provided us, it still lives on today. I see it in so many different people. I don't think that the spirit of Kevin Samuels will ever die, because it's affected so many people in so many positive ways. I think that our friendship specifically, and I'll share a couple different things that I've learned from him, even when he didn't realize that I was learning from him. Kev would call me occasionally and would invite me up to go watch shopping up in New York. And the one time that I wasn't able to do it, he laughed at me. And he said, Anton, what's going on? You getting soft? And I was like, no, Kev, I got a daughter that I got to get to school today. And he just started cracking up. He was like, oh yeah, I forgot, or whatever, so on and so forth. But I think that the biggest takeaway from Kevin, and the biggest thing that I learned, had nothing to do with any of the stuff, the watches, the superficial stuff. Although Kev was fly. And I think that that's another thing that he doesn't get credit for, is his influence on guys to be able to step their game up, not just in their ability to be able to become better men when it comes to relationships and getting their money up, but also carrying themselves a certain type of way. He held a standard that I think that most people would agree with, in saying that you have to be the best version of yourself, even when it comes to how it is that you present yourself to the general public. And the thing that I absolutely cherish the most about him is that he would push me. And he would push me without necessarily trying to push me when it comes to what it is that he said to me, but what it is that he said about himself. And he would say, I know you're not about to let a 50-plus-year-old man outwork you, Anton. And I think that you can see that work ethic today. I'm not necessarily successful because of anything that I'm doing that's any more unique than anybody else. I think that I am heavily influenced by people that I looked at as mentors, even though they didn't even know that they were mentoring me, and Kevin was certainly one of my mentors. His work ethic was impeccable, and that's the thing that I take from him the most. He truly cared about the people that he rocked with. He always added value in every single conversation, even if he just gave you a He always added value, and you were always trying to figure out how it was that he was able to do some of the things that he was able to do, because he was just so talented. And him being able to truly see the growth that he saw prior to his untimely demise, I think that that's beautiful. And we gave him his flowers while he was here. We're certainly going to continue to give him his flowers when he's gone. I think that the legacy of Kevin Samuels does not live in any one of us, but all of us, and that we have to continue to be the best versions of ourselves. Kev, I love you. I appreciate you. I am thankful that you were blessed to be a part of my life. I cried when you passed away, but now I think it's a celebration. And so I'm very, very, very appreciative to have known you. And I think that the spirit of who you are lives through us all.
Happy birthday, Kevin. I miss you, brother. I know you're probably smiling down from heaven right now, but probably not very pleased that I have Jordans on right now. You always told me to get rid of them. He said, throw them in the trash. I got some Chelsea boots back on back order that you would absolutely approve of. Trust me, give me some time though, all right? But jokes aside though, Kevin, my brother, happy birthday. We absolutely miss you. Your continued impact on this world is nothing short of inspiring. You showed us how to impact lives. You showed us how to make a difference. You showed us how to cut through the noise on a journey towards your purpose. You showed us how to make a difference and have a positive change within this world. And for that, I am forever grateful. We are forever grateful. But today, we celebrate you. And we continue to defend you and your legacy. And we'd have it no other way, because we know that you do the same for us. To conclude, I just wanted to share a quick short story regarding the first time that I met Kevin in person. All right, now after months of establishing a friendship with him via the phone, one day he was like, yo, let's go to Vegas and let's get some content in, right? So one of the days that we had off, we actually traveled to his personal favorite clothing store of all time, Tom Ford. And when I tell you, when we got in there and it was his arena, it was absolutely his arena. It was like he was at home. I mean, he was the most knowledgeable person in that store regarding the styles, the fits, the colors, what works well with what, the different scents, then the sales associates, right? And they all just stood back and just listened. And I remember thinking to myself that this is a man that knows who he is and that understands his purpose, and he understands what makes him happy in life. And with so many men today struggling to find their individual purpose, watching Uncle Kevin go through that, it was simply a sight to see. Happy birthday, Kevin. You've set an amazing example. You've changed uncountable lives, and your legacy will always live on.
Lead attorney here. I am so happy to be a part of Kevin Samuels' birthday celebration. He changed so many people's lives for the better. Certainly changed my life for the better. When I think back to how I first was introduced to Kevin and how our relationship, our friendship began to form, I never would have thought that it would have ended up how it did. So profound an impact that it had on me. You know, when I first started talking to Kevin, it was always through emails, and he would never say my name. He would just say counselor and counselor this and counselor that. Even when he invited me down to Miami for our first collaboration, when I was waiting for him to come down the elevator and I was in the lobby and we met for the first time face to face. I wouldn't necessarily describe his demeanor as cold. Maybe that's too strong of a word, but it was certainly businesslike. It was certainly professional. And in that collaboration, we shot the collab for maybe an hour or so. But then after the cameras went off, he sat there and he talked to me about YouTube. And this was very important to me as a relatively newer YouTuber who didn't have an understanding of the platform, didn't understand how the platform would interact with my life in such a profound way. And he talked to me and gave me so much game for about 2 hours after that collaboration. Lord knows he did not need to do that. He got nothing out of those 2 hours. And to be honest, he got nothing for the collaboration himself. He was just doing it to help me. And as our friendship started to form more, we would talk more over the phone. And then one day, I'll never forget, he sent me an Apple Pay. He sent me some money. He sent me $1. And I asked him, I said, what's up with this dollar? And he said, that is my retainer. And now I've retained you. And now our communications are covered by attorney-client privilege. And that's when he really opened up to me and told me things that really just changed the trajectory of my career here on YouTube and really my life. And the game that he taught me about content creation, about manhood, about life from his perspective as a person from a prior generation. I couldn't have got that knowledge, that wisdom from anywhere else. And now he's gone. But his story, his power did not end there. When we had that collaboration in Miami, he put up a post on his community tab, and it was a photo of me and him at his table, and he was talking to me. And above that photo, he put a caption, and the caption was just 2 words. And the caption read, "It continues." And he was right. His story, his impact, his influence continues on through me. His story, his impact, his influence continues on through other content creators like Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, like O'Shea Duke Jackson. His impact, his influence continues on through Anton Daniels, through the Style OG, through Dennis. It continues on through newer content creators like AV to the 7th Power. His influence and impact continues on through content creators that have yet to turn on the camera for their first video. But aside from content creators, he had so much of an impact, so much of an influence on the community at large. Over 1 million followers on Instagram, over 1 million followers on YouTube. all of the insight that he provided to women on how men think, all of the insight that he provided, the guidance he provided to men about how we should increase our value, focusing on our style, focusing on our mentality. And even as we continue to increase our value, he instilled in us the belief that we had value inherently, something that society a lot of the times will try to make us forget. Kevin never wanted men to forget their value. He is gone, but his channel continues to grow. People continue to be impacted by his story, by his wisdom. And as people are impacted, millions of people, not only in the United States, but from all across the world, we can never forget that all these millions of people have had their lives changed and lives improved by one man. You know, there will never be another Kevin Samuels. Kevin, I miss you. We all miss you. And we all love you. Happy birthday.
What's up, everybody? My name is Mumia Obsidian Ali, and I am very, very pleased and humbled and honored to be tapped to say a few words in remembrance of our good friend and dearly departed brother, Kevin Samuels. I affectionately refer to him as Saint Kevin. And I just wanted to say a few words. People told me to try to make it brief. But yeah, it's been a very difficult year for me. Dealing with his passing and reflecting on it on a daily basis. He and I used to talk almost on a daily basis the last few years of his life, about maybe 3 years of his life, let's say. And we had a lot of conversations about YouTube, business, and that sort of thing. But we also had a lot of more, I guess you could say personal conversations. And I've talked a little bit about them publicly, and I would just would like to relate an anecdote or two right now in remembrance of him. One day we were having a conversation, and he had talked a lot about style personalities. And out of curiosity, I asked him what he thought my style personality was, and without skipping a beat, he said refined. He went on to say that because of the way that I presented myself into the world, people didn't see the refinement in me. They saw something else. He said, but on the inside, you're a gentleman through and through. It's not reflected on the outside. And he went on to say a number of other things that really got me to thinking. Then another time we had a conversation, and I just asked him, because he would call me like every day. And I asked him one day, I said, listen, man, let me ask you a question. Real talk. Why me? And he said, excuse me? He said, I mean, you call me almost on an everyday basis. And I mean, there's a whole lot of other guys that you could be calling and talking to and so forth. And why me? And he said, without skipping the beat again, he said, because you're the only one that showed up and did the work. Now, this is after the refined gentleman conversation. I had taken his advice, his implied advice, and just snapped one day and just completely changed my presentation to the world. I went down and got my tailored suit, and I never looked back. And so some time had passed, and that's when we had the conversation I just told you about. And one other quick anecdote I will relate to you is that when he went to promote my book, I had no idea he was going to do that. I was flat on my back, sick at the time, and he went and did that. And now what was a commercial ad is now something of a living memorial to me. That was the kind of man that Kevin was. Very kind and generous and understated. He did not have to do that. I went back and did my own little homework. You know, the valuation of doing something like that is basically the equivalent of buying a commercial during the Super Bowl. Would have cost me 20 grand if he really wanted to do that. He could charge people that kind of money. That's the kind of money that he was worth at this point in his life. This is the summer of 2021. Did that for free. And I didn't ask him to do it. Had no idea that he was going to do it. And it just goes to show you what kind of man he was. I'm very dismayed at the way that he was treated by detractors in the wake of his passing, and even now, to this day, coming up on a year. But I'm always heartened by the kindness and generosity and true humanity that he showed to me. He's been a friend to me when other men were not. And I will always remember that about Kevin, and will always try to live up to the example that he has set. And to all of his friends, his mother, his daughter, well-wishers, I hope you will all join me in saying happy birthday to St. Kevin. This is Mumia Obsidian Ali. Thank you for listening, and I love you, Kevin. Peace.
Greetings, everyone. Jeff, your style OG. First of all, I want to thank Kevin's friends, family, and team for inviting me to speak on this joyous occasion, celebrating both Kevin's birthday and his legacy. And although I'm very excited to speak about Kevin on this day, it still is surreal. It feels unreal that he's not here. But one thing that can't be denied that's definitely real, the impact and legacy Kevin Samuels left behind. I believe Kevin's impact will be felt for generations to come. He definitely moved the needle, especially when it comes to male and female relationships, specifically in our community. And as someone who got to know Kevin pretty well over the last several years, I can't emphasize enough what his message was. He wanted to bring us together. He wanted us to have strong, fulfilling, lasting relationships. And even more importantly, for us to get married. And as someone who spoke to Kevin a lot firsthand about what he was trying to accomplish, he really wanted to get people what they wanted, especially the ladies out there. I know for a lot of ladies, after you wade through some of what you considered the harsh tone, he wanted you to get what you truly wanted, the man that you were really looking for. But he also wanted you to do the work that it took to get that man. But I don't want to leave the fellas out either. My guys who are aware of Kevin know before he blew up, he was going hard at us, giving us tough love. Not only did he expect a lot out of the women, he expected even more from us, the men. It's very important to me that I share to the ladies out there, Kevin truly loved you. He told me this over and over and over. He knew that he had to give you a bit of tough love, a bit of straightening, but he knew if you eventually got the message, you and all of us would be better off for it. He knew that the key to building up our community was strong relationships and families. For any of us that watched Kevin's content over the last several years, we know he was making a huge impact. He was bringing men and women together. I believe it's very important for content creators like myself and the others you'll watch on today's video tribute to continue to share Kevin's message in our own unique ways. I also want to stress the importance of you, the listener, the viewers, the fans of Kevin Samuels' content. I want you to continue to watch it, but more importantly, share with other people you know can use it. I know there's so many people out there who are watching this right now whose lives were made better, who saw great improvements in their outcomes based on Kevin's message. If it helped you, I'm sure somebody else that you know can definitely use the help. So I strongly encourage you to like, subscribe, and more importantly, share this content with other people. And I mean this content, not the bootlegs other people have created. By sharing Kevin's content, the content on his channel, that's how you make sure his legacy continues to grow and he has impact on men and women for years to come. And by doing so, you help his legacy take care of the loved ones Kevin left behind. And to my dear friend Kevin, on your birthday, I can't express to you how much I and millions of other people truly miss you. You did what many of us men are striving to do and did it in spades. You left behind a huge legacy. You left your mark on this world. So on this birthday celebration, I want to say to my friend Kevin Samuels, we miss you, we love you, salute.
I don't know many women who wanted to have a kid and didn't want to work after that. I definitely don't fit in that bracket. The concept of a high value man is to shoulder and is to carry the brunt, to be the general. And I think more so what I'd like to see is joint leadership and then joint respect for what each person is bringing to the table. Which I think is fascinating because I think a lot of people would assume from the clips that they've seen of you that you're asking women to settle for less, to lower their standards, or to be more realistic about their potential for partners, and then as a result, to look within a pool that they would consider less than what they see, for themselves.
My content is openly, I say I'm making it for the men who want to be in the top 10%, top 20% of men who want to get in the top 10%, 5%, 1%. We just haven't talked about the logistics of it. But actually, a high value man puts a lot of pressure on men.
It's fascinating because to hear about, the concept of a high value man is to shoulder and is to carry the brunt, to be the general. And I think more so what I'd like to see is joint leadership and then joint respect for what each person is bringing to the table. I think that even comes down to sex, right? So if I can acknowledge your sex drive and what you bring and what you know, and I want that information because my agenda isn't to kill it or kill the pussy in the bedroom or to dominate in the bedroom. It's to have great sex. And in order for us to have great sex, if you got something and I got something, we can both bring something, we can collectively create a better experience. And so I'm thirsty for your knowledge and I want to catch up, and I want you to be thirsty for my knowledge. I want you to want to catch up to where I'm at. We're both exchanging as tourists and as tour guides in the bedroom, rather than like putting the responsibility for men to say, well, you've got to be the leader. You got to be the one to be the sexual advocates. You have to be the one to be the sexual conquests, because maybe you don't, or maybe you do get to be that on Tuesday, but on Wednesday, you allow your partner to take over. Even financially, I do feel that way. I feel that the concept of I want a person who makes X should be shifted to I want to be in a partnership where we can make X.
Well, this is where the conversation gets into, this is what I'm responding to the market. Most women will say they don't want a high value man, but then they want a luxury lifestyle that come along with it.
They say they don't want?
Yeah, because high value man has become now it's because it's so much out there. Now they're like, I don't necessarily want a high value man. They'll ask a couple of questions. I'm like, okay, well, do you want to be married? Yeah. You want children? Yeah. How many? 2, 3, which one? 2 or 3? 3, do you want to have to work to pay significant bills after you're pregnant and married with the first child? No. Okay. What percentage of our family financial load do you want to have to be responsible for a lifetime? Less than 20, 15, usually 10%. I'm like, well, then how much money would a man need to be able to facilitate a family, a wife, 3 children? Do you want your kids to be able to go to college? Would you like to be able to travel nationally? The lifestyle they describe is an upper class lifestyle. I'm like, well, you don't get that on $50,000 a year. So it's like there's a disconnect.
Well, I guffawed because the way that you broaden it out in those 6 points, it sounds undeniable that anybody, even if the financial component wasn't what you were leading with, you want a man who has impact, who's got morals, who's got a social network. So
right.
You want a man who has a life and who has a legacy.
Yeah, it puts a lot of onus on men to not just be worried about, self. You have to be, you want to call yourself a leader than this. Wife has always been valued. Opinion has always been, she's not a stepwife. And they work together, inseparable, for the better outcome for them and the legacy. But at the end of the day, as nice as partnership sounds, a decision has to be made, and we have to go one way or another. And I think what I've seen, most women want the responsibility after they had their opinion, their point of view, to be considered. Which way do we go? Generally, most women say they want their men to do that. What they don't want is they don't want to not be considered. They don't want you to just say, I do this because I'm man. No. And all of that gets whittled down into high value. People have taken high value man and made it a bumper sticker, which I'll take that.
Right.
But then you sit down and have conversations about it. And does it fit everybody? No. And also I'll say this, I put that over here and I advocate strongly for what I consider people in the middle, average. Because most people, the bell curve, are average. And where the biggest disconnect is right now is average men are not desired by women that are average. Women have openly said, I would rather be in a rotation of a man of high value than to get with a man and do the things we're talking about building. So what do we tell men here in the middle? That's the unheard part of the conversation. These guys are starting to feel unheard, unacknowledged, and unmotivated because what is a life for a man who can go work to be a cog in the machine? You're starting to see a lot of guys saying, well, if I'm not going to have a career where I'm making 6 figures or more, why do I need to go to college and get all that debt? I can't have her anyway. Mm-hmm. So it's not as though men are, so when we say men aren't going to college, we don't ask why they're not. I think a lot of assumption is we need to motivate them. Guys are reading the tea leaves in the dating marketplace, and now in the last couple of years, what they're seeing is starting to be said, well, why is this? Now that's where we are. Because I thought a lot of the same things too. Why is this not happening? Until I start hearing the stories.
It's interesting as I'm listening to you talk, I'm thinking to myself, a lot of the anecdotes of women that you're describing don't relate to me, and they don't relate to women I'm friends with or that I know, or to, frankly, my audience. And so then I'm like, what we're doing is we're having discussions about traditional desires versus maybe more of a modern mindset, but then we're just using binary terms. So we're saying men and women. So you've got modern women who are criticizing your approach, but it's really the genuine truth of some women. I don't know many women who wanted to have a kid and didn't want to work after that. I definitely don't fit in that. My child gives me a why, she gives me meaning, and I love being a mom, but the purpose that I get from working is just a completely different energy. And I know that many women feel the same, but they feel a passion and they feel an excitement towards what they do for a living, what they offer. And so there's no desire to let that go once you've now, achieved another level of success intimately. So I just, in reflecting on that too, I find that men who want want a traditional woman are criticizing modern women as part of the problem, and women who want more of a modern man are criticizing the traditional and saying that this is the issue.
Well,
that's what I liked what you said about the Facebook group that you have, where you're taking people who've got similar
I
values.
I took my own test because I thought a lot of the things you said, and then I put them in the room and I said they operate the same. The human beings sort ourselves nicely when we are left alone. When we talk this social engineering, the Netherlands, one of the most egalitarian societies on the planet. Men are sorting themselves into the science, engineering, technology, math, science, technology, engineering, math, industrial jobs. Women are starting to be overrepresented in healthcare, education, things like that, because it's about choice. But I want to focus on something you're saying, our audiences. You have a college-educated female audience. That's who made me famous. Because when I was doing 30,000, that's who's in their audience. That's who was calling in. Especially for Average at Best. Average at Best happened 21. So around November of 2020. But for an entire year, I had been talking to other women. And that 1 million plus on Instagram and on YouTube, I look at the numbers and I get the messages. I see them when I'm out and about. They are college-educated bachelors, masters. That's what the whole soundboard, I'm a PhD. If I went to show you the messages, how many women, yes, I can do this. I love my career. But when asked, do you want to have to work? The answer, almost 100% of the time, comes back, no. Talking about PhD.
Well, that's why the Lotto 649 is a multi-billion-dollar industry that'll never die. The idea and the fantasy of early retirement, I think, is interesting to everybody. Doesn't mean that you would exercise that, I think, given the option. And if you see, I always, even that question of like, how many kids do you want? When you have one, make a decision on how many more you want from there.
But we're also not working in corporate America either. I'm talking about women who are Ivy League educated, PhDs, attractive women who will tell you right now, I can date this guy that I want to be a housewife, or I want to not have to work doing this because they're doing so much emotional labor. They're giving the nurture, the thing that a lot of women would like to be able to give to a relationship, to a job. That's why I was surprised when I asked the question, would you quit your full-time job to work part-time for your man? And normally I have a lot of views, but not comments. Black women in particular, you would have thought I was a different influence. I'm like, so while there are women in this space, or there are women who find a lot of value from their careers, it's not, well, we're typically on this side of the camera.
But we've also seen a rise in stay-at-home dads, right? So now there's the notion that we're understanding that women's work is just as important or sometimes more important. And there's a lot of studies actually show that balance actually works, that when the man stays home and looks after the child, and that could be logical for that partnership. So I love the fact that there are women. I think that's kind of the thing too, is that traditional women or men in a certain space look at it like I'm trying to discourage women from leaning into that. If your biological drive is to stay home and to nurture, and you want to do what your great grandmother did, because there's beauty in that, that's wonderful. I just don't know if that is the one size fits all story that we should say majority of women want to subscribe to.
Well, okay. There always will be the anecdotal. What percentage of women, if you had to look at the sample size of women who are marrying age, would want to stay at home dad?
I'm not sure about that, because there's still a lot of emasculation, and we still have an issue with our definition of masculinity, and women still have to get over that. There's still a lot of work to do with women asking for men to be one thing and then putting themselves in a position to be good recipients of that. I love vulnerability. So I would flip the question and say, how many women want to stop working after having a child? How many women want to make massive sacrifices to their career as a result of having a family, versus how many women want to integrate and do both?
Well, most women don't have careers, they have jobs.
Yeah.
Most people don't have careers, they have jobs. So again, I think we're talking about
I think people have visions. I think people have passions. I think that's what we do have now, is even if you are in a job, you have a passion for or pursuit for a career.
It's not, well,
I just think anecdotally, I would have to see stats, but I reflectively don't relate to the woman who's not interested in her personal footprint and legacy. And I don't know a lot of women whose aspiration is to have children and have a man look after her.
I'm not saying that they want to do that. I'm just looking, like I said, this is where I pull in the stats, the numbers. 74% of our women are making less than $50,000. So whatever a career is, where the rubber meets the road, a family still has to be raised.
Yes.
So in the United States, 20 to 30% of people are business owners. So that means 70 to 80% have jobs. Aspirations or not, but one of the biggest reasons why so many women can't quit in this great resignation is because they don't have partners in which to do anything. So it's about choice. Now this is where I think a lot of people almost come in line saying high value men, because we're almost having what many people consider an elite conversation. And we're talking about people with college degrees and businesses, this and that, and that's not the majority of folks. So the bigger question, I think, is for the people who don't have those choices, we're starting to see a decline in the middle class, where I will ask women, okay, if you can't have a high value man, okay, and a woman as yourself, you would say you're an average earner, you have a college degree, and you have average everything, okay? But could you be with an average man and work with him and be his wife, and y'all have your kids and family? And every time, I'm not gonna lie, when I talk to women, 90+% of the time, the answer is no. Mm-hmm. If I gotta do all that, I'll be by myself. So what are we telling men that?
It's also the way you positioned it. If you positioned it now, you're with a partner who gives you space to pursue because they're taking care of the home. You're with a partner who is supportive of you. Your partner is.
They're both working.
But if your partner's taking on the brunt of, because maybe you have a passion project. So we're saying what's important to you as an individual will be amplified within this relationship. It's going to alleviate pressure for you. There's person's going to be supportive of you. Maybe they'll work for you part-time. So I think if the notion is
Well,
you
what
have
I'm
to
saying
do
is
all
both of these
this.
people are working. They don't have. See, we still go into their work. I'm talking about coming from Oklahoma, where you work at the plant.
I think the way that I heard it, let me just interpret it back to you and see if I misunderstood. But it sounded as if, well, if you have to take on the financial responsibility and if you're the person who is in the lead and you have to make all the decisions and you're with somebody who has a trade who's making less, is that a relationship that you want?
No. What I'm saying is you're a teacher. You're making $50,000. He's a plumber. He's making $50,000. Okay? You're able to live your life and take care of yourself. And he's able to live his life, take care of himself. Could you be together and have a family if you still got to live your life? You still got to work. And even if you have children, you still got to work. He still has to work. You get FMLA, the 13 weeks off, and then you guys do whatever you do. You work it out like most middle-class people. And overwhelmingly, women say, no, if I have to work as hard or harder when I'm married, then I'll stay single. So
That makes me sad.
and this is what so many of my critics and detractors don't realize. It's like, well, what are we telling men they're worth? This is why this high value man thing is taking us such a virulent thing with so many men, because the market, in this case, women, have said, what about a life? Does somebody chronicle your life to build with legacy? You don't get to travel to Paris, but Disneyland. I don't want Disneyland. And I'm like, well, what are we telling people? Based upon what I've lived in my life and seen, I know plenty of women who have said, they want to work and have their career. The reality has been they want the option to not have to. And then if they have their passion projects or they want to do something, they want to be, but they don't want that if they're not bringing it in, that they lose the house, the car, the this, the that. And the thing is, if you're telling men that's the outcome you want, you shouldn't have a demand or an expectation, because what it appears to be from what the hundreds or thousands of conversations I had is that women want everything. And most people can't afford that. And that's what I want to get down to. It's like, well, ladies, if you want a man who can provide a luxury lifestyle, do you want everything else that comes along with that? You may not see them as much, especially if they're corporate. We're having these conversations, and here's the reality. The men who can provide the kind of lifestyle, I would just say this. If 10% of men or less can provide that lifestyle, 50% or more of women want that lifestyle. The numbers don't match. Mm-hmm. So if you can't get the 10%, what are you willing to do? And that gets translated into settling. I'm gonna be honest, a lot of times men are hearing they have to settle. Cool, if you got all the things you wanted, what is he gonna get? Me. And if we flip the script, there's no way in Hades you're gonna tell me that this woman would think she should settle for an average guy. Mm-hmm. She'd want someone on her level. So this is what men are saying. Men are saying, if it's all right for women to want the best, then we should want what we're worth. And now that's where the war started. And I'm trying to tell people that you're not in this environment. It's an elite top 10, top 20, top 15, top 10%. Where are you really at? And adjust yourself. And that's why the video went so viral. Her choice was, if I don't get this, I get nothing. That's why this has become such a contentious conversation, because it's so extreme.
And I think maybe this is why I don't find this conversation to be productive, because I don't feel personally inspired by it. I don't feel like I've gained anything. When I was talking to you about the Facebook group, because the basis of a bond is proximity, similarity, and attraction. So if you can offer proximity and then you can put people who are similar together, and then attraction's a thing that's kind of the variable, you're likely to get these matches. But if we're focused on who deserves what and who should be getting what and who's asking for what. And then we're using very binary terms like men and women, but we're really talking about very different groups, to your point. So if I'm having a conversation about women, but I'm talking about a very small minority of women who are a certain education level, and that's not who you're talking about. You're talking about an Oklahoma-based woman who wants to be a stay-at-home mom. We're trying to pretend we're having the same dialogue, but we're really not. And then in the result of that, we're pissing people off, but then nobody's actually feeling empowered to better themselves and find a connection.
We're talking. What I'm talking about is, both groups, and that's why I said, where are the matchmakers and the people who are supposed to facilitate this? Because this Facebook group I started was just to see what would happen.
Yes.
And it proved it can happen. There was something that used to be, back in the day, called First Friday. Have you heard that? First Friday.
Yes, but I would like an explanation because I may not
First
have the right thing.
Back in the late 90s, early 2000s, in any city in the United States, they had clubs, they had hip hop clubs, jazz clubs, all this. You didn't, where we going tonight? What's the hot spot? Everybody's trying to figure out where to go. And it's like a rolling of dice. They came up with a concept called First Friday. They said the first Fridays of every month, we're gonna throw a party at the most happening place in LA or in Dallas. And there's gonna be a jazz room, a hip hop room, an R&B room. And what would happen is you only had to go out one time. And you had all these places. These places were doing 3,000, 5,000 people. So it's like people were getting, instead of going out every weekend and happy hour and drinking, they'd go out the first Friday and they were finding people because people were motivated to go get the outcome. We're incentive based. So we can have the conversations, but we also need opportunities in person, virtual, like the mix to happen, because what you and I may do, because we're content creators, minor social scientists, we're set up different than most people. They don't really want to have all these conversations. They just want to get to the relationship. So that's where we're at now, trying to take it into the real world. And the philosophy class is one of the most frustrating classes because the closer you get to the end of first year philosophy, the more questions you have. Then second year, then third year. By third philosophy class, you stop taking philosophy.
Yes.
You know why? Because it's all a question.
That's the basis of it, right? I was gonna say, yeah.
But you get comfort. It's like war games. The best way to win is not to play, to get down to tic-tac-toe. Old school movie, look it up. Global thermonuclear war. You cannot go to war because everybody dies. So the computer learned the only way to win is not to play. And whatever we call it, I want you, you want me, let's make a deal. And then right off into the sunset or the hills or whatever we do. I'm serious. I'm so dead serious. We are not that complicated. We go together.
We do.
We go together and we want to be together. So I think this has been great, honestly.
No, I had a phenomenal time. I learned a lot. And I think that more than anything, I hope people affirm and champion the female orgasm. We touched upon it. We didn't go very deep into it, but
affirm and champion the female orgasm.
That's a great place to end.
No need to say I follow.
I heard it was blood clots and shit. I'm old. We might need to get 911 over there. So my bad.
Let me tell you. You see, let me tell you why I love the universe, and I am a firm believer of the universe.
Okay.
Listen, I wanted to get on and talk to you for a very long time.
Is that right?
That's very right.
What we got?
So I want to know what you gotta, let's have this real talk. Let's have this real talk. Because I know a lot of times when people will speak to you, it's like they trying to be funny.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like if you call somebody trying to be funny, yes, I feel if you call somebody trying to be funny, then don't be mad at what you get. If you call somebody that, and you're really trying to, sincerely ask questions or get information or chat, then that's different. So I want to talk to you.
Okay. What are we talking about?
Well, what do you rate me?
Is that what we're starting off with?
Yeah.
Do you think the men rate women?
No, I thought because isn't that what you do?
It's what have you seen of my content? Have you just seen like the clips?
Yeah. I think I always see people calling you and you tell them you ain't no such and such. You lying to yourself. You ain't this. You know.
What I typically don't do is I don't typically rank people. I ask them if they rank themselves. I usually ask these questions.
So let's start it that way.
Yeah. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3".
Dress size?
My dress size?
Mm-hmm.
Brenda Don said, my dress size. That's a good question. I guess a 4.
All right. And on a scale from 1 to 10, you can't use 7. What would you rank yourself? Fresh face out of the shower, just you.
Yeah.
That's how I always ask the question.
7.
Can't use 7. That's why 7 is the most common answer.
Really?
It's the default answer for most people because they don't want to go too high, they don't want to go too low.
Well, no, it ain't a default answer for me.
Well, let's see. I would give you a 9. I would give you a 9 because you have the facial symmetry and you get additional points for eyes. Full lips. See, I'm an actual image consultant. And I'm sure you dealt with a lot of people who take your pictures and such and so forth. You have a symmetrical face. And so it's much more based upon facial symmetry. It's not based on European beauty standards or anything like that. It's much more based upon what babies, animals, human beings have evolved to find attractive.
Wow.
You get additional points because we have evolved to find more slanted eyes, somewhat attractive, especially when they're not on Asian.
Wow.
But that's not what gets translated. Most of the time, people take my clips and cut it down to something that's gonna make a viral moment. It's gonna start a conversation. Take the good with the bad. Have you seen anything else that I do?
I saw one time when you checked this lady for, I guess it was a white lady or a Hispanic lady, and you was like, oh, you're not gonna come on this show and talk down on black women. That's what the fuck you're not gonna do.
Yeah.
And so again, that was a clip. I didn't see the context really, but
well, I get a rap of hating black women, and it's far from that. I mean, there are over 50 black women who report that they've gotten married as a result of watching my content in the last year.
Really?
It's on my Instagram. I actually had a young sister just post up saying, "Hey, as a result of you, I snatched the ring." I just actually posted a brother who was about to move to the Dominican Republic, and he found his wife in my Facebook group. Like 12 couples have gotten married in there, but that stuff doesn't get publicized. But when I'm talking about relationships, I'm talking about men and women, but because I'm black, I'm talking about us. And from time to time, I would bring stuff in, and then a lot of times sisters would say, well, men, when they get to a certain level, they only want white women or this or that. So I let women from other races come in. I'm like, okay, well, can you learn anything from them? What would you teach them? And the one woman came in and she thought she was going to do what I did to black women. I'm like, hold on, wait. Now, we can talk this way, but Karen, you sit your ass down over there. Because I don't play that. I wouldn't let, despite popular opinion, I love my mother, I love my daughter, but we do have to have a family conversation. And what's starting to happen more is actually we're starting to have more conversations about this. It ain't comfortable, but we're starting to see progress.
Well, let me ask you this just outright then. Why do successful black men date outside of their race?
Well, I would say this. When I look at men, I split them up. Guys that I consider to be in the industry, music, entertainment, athletics, and then guys on the business side.
Okay.
Business side, because I come from that side. But more often than not, black men want to be with black women. We still marry. 85% of black men are married to black women.
Oh.
When
Okay.
I have my guys come to me, even after they got themselves together, like Dennis Furling, the guy who just moved, he found his black wife in my group. Black men we want to be with them. The problem is, let's be honest, in my lifetime, we weren't really raised to learn how to get along with one another. We can kick it, we can hook up, but can we work together long term? And I mean, you're married now, right? Okay, relationship is a skill set. It's different than dating in short term. We really want to talk that kind of stuff. And what successful people who are doing good in their professional life want to fail in their personal life. And in the black community in particular, when we fail in our personal lives, we pay a huge penalty because so few of us get married. It's almost like we like to see people's marriages fall, but we need more of those things in order to build whatever we're going to be, because people may not like my method, but I want to see more black men who want black wives get with black women. And that's the outcome we're getting. It ain't pretty, though. Sometimes it ain't pretty.
Can I say something? Real quick? Black women, can we stop talking about if these niggas want us or not? Excuse me, Kevin. This is not. I'm talking to black women real quick. Can we stop posting all day on TikTok? Because I newly went to TikTok and I just kept seeing this. Mm-hmm. Black women, can we stop talking about if these successful black men want us or not? Mm-hmm. Like, can we just focus on us and we be successful, and then we go out there and we decide who the fuck we want? Because what I've been seeing is, I feel like I've been seeing men using that as an opportunity because they've been hurt and somebody done and they've been using it as a way to come out and lash out and poke fun at black women and use it as a way to feel like they somebody or they something. Or so for all you niggas that's doing that on TikTok, wherever the fuck y'all at, eat a dick, go away. Nobody gives a shit about you. And I want black women to stop fucking posting about whether or not y'all want black women or not. Okay? Well, I want black women just to focus on themselves, be successful, and then you go out there and you decide the trajectory of your life. Okay?
Well, here's the thing. There's a lot of hurt on both sides. And especially in the black community, we don't really do a lot with counseling, therapy. I recommend therapy often because we got a lot of stuff individually that we want to deal with. And marriage and relationships are not for everybody. And I'm just trying to, ultimately I ask people, what do you want? What do you want, and what are you prepared to do to get what you want? And are you willing to pay that cost? It's really the conversation, but it always gets kind of whittled down. But at the end of the day, what we are seeing is, especially if you're under 30, it's harder for guys today under 30 than it was from 50 years ago, because you can't take care of a family on out of high school or just coming out. So they're at the bottom. Mm-hmm. And I just had men's week, and I told guys, look, while you're under 30, work on getting yourself together, because like it or not, you're really not in a position like you should be able to work with, lead, do anything like that. And you see the hate, not the hate, but the hurt on both sides, because a lot of times people will use these talking points to go at and poke women over here, but that's not what's going on right now. This year, we're past the sound. I mean, we still laugh, we still do all that stuff. We're talking about self-awareness and moving the needle. I'm in LA tomorrow talking with a famous sexologist, a womanist, feminist, to talk about things that that people on my side may not understand, to further open the conversation up. Because that's what we have to get to. We got to end up, for whoever want to be involved with whoever, we got to end up having a better conversation, because while we're separate, fighting, everybody else just eats off of us. That's really what it looks like. So But
Okay, Kevin. So
go
since
ahead.
we here, no, we got to get down to the business, chat.
Go ahead.
Now, do you think a man can have sex 3 times a night for the rest of his life?
Those guys can't.
They can't.
Not for the rest of his life, no.
Well, how many times they gonna be able to do it?
Depends how much he's working. Depends on how much he's working. That's why I say it's different on.
But wait, no,
No,
listen,
no.
Listen, hold on. How many times should a man expect to have sex? What is, in your opinion, how many times should a woman give their man sex a week?
A week?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fan of the as often as he wants it.
No, hold on.
Because here's the thing. Here's the thing. You look at, like I said, I look at guys, most guys I'm talking to are working 10, 12-hour days. Bernie Mac said it, I'm going to come home and give you 50 strokes. You count them if you ain't got time. Most dudes trying to walk around like they porn stars. Look here, man. Get good at foreplay, eat some pussy, and get on. Because we don't have all that time. We get old, our back hurt, our hips out.
Oh, no.
When you get older, but I think a healthy sex life 2 to 3 times a week is what most people are doing because they got kids.
Yes, no, I understand.
But when you're single, no kids, whenever you want to.
Yeah. Well,
she's like, I don't know about that one.
No, I understand because yes, things change when you have to be looking at your baby and a lot of I get it. I totally get it. But let me ask you something. Do men really want, because I was having this discussion 2 days ago, do men really want a woman to be all up under them? Oh baby, hi, yeah, ooh, or do they just say they want that, and when they want that, and when they get it, they be like, because I feel like me being mean is what, yeah.
The late great Patrice O'Neal said it the best. We want you around, but not around. He made a comedy bit where he said, we want you in the house, kind of like around the corner in the vent somewhere. We kind of want you to be like a cat. You call a cat's name, hey, babe. Okay, you there, cool. We just want to know you in touching distance. That's really all we, because we really
and I feel like I'm like a man. I feel like I'm, a lot of people throughout my life would tell me that I'm like a man, because I remember people would tell me I shouldn't expect as a woman to have a climax every time I do it, right? Hi, Hilton. And I said, excuse me, are you out of your fucking mind? Why wouldn't I want to climax every time I have intercourse, just like you want to climax when you have intercourse? And I was accused of being like a man. Not in my, this is years ago. And I knew that wasn't going to work, child. Because it's not only about you.
Well,
what do you think about that?
Well, so when I go to LA, I'll be talking to sexologists. Shambu Dream, Shambu. There's a lot that men don't understand about sexuality. Most guys, you ask them what the Kama Sutra is, they don't know what it is. They don't know anything about tantric sex. They don't even know that. You couldn't even show them the anatomy of a vagina and they can understand parts. Just weren't taught. So, and, if you know what you're doing, you should have as much orgasm. You should. You're multi-orgasmic. You can have more than we can.
That's right.
So the point is that I think that was part of the purpose of going down there, to have this conversation, because women's sexuality is so misunderstood by men. So a lot of guys make comments about women in not knowing, and they make decisions based on women. And I say ultimately this: if you ain't getting married, what the fuck you care about a woman's body count and who she fucking with? If you ain't gonna take ownership of it, and if it's yours, you need to learn what to do. Because
well, if I was a man, I would still care about who a woman is fucking. Just
safety, as long as it's clean. I'm talking about, there are guys who worry about things. Here's the thing: there's ownership, and then there's dating. we do a lot to disqualify one another. And we got enough stuff already disqualifying us. So,
Oh, right. To put women down.
yeah, I mean, or to discount men too. And I'm like, well, in the context of a relationship, it's different than people who are out here just hooking up. If you're gonna just be out here hooking up, you need to be. I would assume you would want to have a good sexual reputation. You want to be a dead layer or a weak fuck. That's not a good look.
No.
See, some people are like, I'm so lost.
No, I'm not lost.
No, I'm talking about people in the comments.
I want to put it on a person. I don't give a shit.
Well, yeah, I seen the videos. I heard what were you talking about? The blood. What is a blood? What is that?
Blood clot?
I'm serious. I know. What is that?
No, it's just a term that my family, my Jamaican people who I love very much, it's just a curse word that they use. Like with a blood clot, I deal with pussy. You understand? So that.
All right, I've heard that before. I'm like, I didn't know if it was a curse word or what. All right, cool. But good to be on here with you. You got any other questions? Because I gotta get packed.
Gotta finish talking to my people, but I want to tell you that I appreciate you joining me tonight.
Appreciate it.
And I don't want to, and to everybody that's wanting me to diss this gentleman or anything, I'm not going to do anything because I don't have proper information, and I don't do shit to get attention or to get clicks or to do no clown shit. If I hear something and I understand the context and Kevin and I wants to talk, then we'll talk. But I'm not just here to diss nobody. So
Appreciate
Kevin,
it. If I say some shit you don't like, feel free to talk about it.
I will.
Bet you will.
Kevin, we're gonna have to have you on Queen Radio in a month or two, okay?
Let's do it.
All right. Take care.
You're 36 to 45, still in striking area. Well, actually, you're 36 to about 40. You're still in striking distance. You still have some eggs that are on life support. Oh, it's true. They're dying. Oh, God. I'm going to hell. I'm just imagining a woman's ovaries and eggs on life support. I'm imagining a woman going on OBGYN ovaries on life support. They in there like this. Oh, God. Oh, eggs just... Don't get mad at me.
You shouldn't have been talking shit.
Oh, that's right. Your eggs is just on. Who can draw a cartoon? I want somebody to draw a cartoon with ovums in an old folks' home on walkers and on oxygen. Trying to get down the fallopian tube. But everybody else could figure it out if they actually needed a man. That a man was something that made life worth living. That a man wasn't there to hurt you or break you and do all these kind of mean things that the society and your mama and your cousin, your nene and them told you about us. And you 36 to 40 and you still got them eggs on life support. This is when you start making deals and taking them to the grocery store and to the freezer. You putting them back there in the ice chest, going to 7-Eleven and On Q, buying all the goddamn ice and putting your eggs on. God damn it. Putting your eggs on ice and shit. Like, what? Imagine you go in somebody's refrigerator and be like, hey, you need to get something to drink. What's that back there? Where's the ice? You got an ice maker? Don't go in the ice maker. Why not? My eggs is in there. What? Yeah, my eggs is in Can you imagine? You're sitting there drinking a nice glass of bourbon. And you're like, what's this in my ice? Kind of grainy. Anybody watch The Mandalorian? If you watch The Mandalorian, remember when Baby Yoda was eating that lizard's eggs? Oh my God. Get through it. Why is it so funny? Because the punchline is on you. The joke's on you. Lifestyle on the track, bitch. Oh my God. Lifestyle. When they get mad when you say that shit too. Ugh. He must hate his mama. My mama's probably cracking up. So my mama thinks some of y'all are some of the weakest ass. They're like, what do these women think they special because they had a baby? Mm-hmm. My daughter loves it too. So I know she probably cracking up like, dang, Dad. That's right. This is why I love being from Oklahoma. Go on a farm. And you want to see how special birthday is? Go on a farm. Pigs do it every day. Cows, chickens. Well, not chicken. Cows. All animals get. They're going to be mad at that one. He compared us to poultry. He compared us to farmyard animals. No, I compared you to other animals. How dare him? Your mama black. Does he not know? Oh my God, and I'm gonna tell you right now, that's why he's gay. He's gay. You know how many, anyway, they're gay. Leave your pretty friend around me. Let's see how long that lasts. That's why Big Shirley love calling me gay. Big Shirley love calling me gay. Just because my erection doesn't work around you Mississippi variants doesn't make me gay. It makes me heterosexual and my eyes work. I don't want to bang a 300-pound blonde chick with a face tattoo and fake Cartier glasses on. Oh shit. Oh my God, y'all know what I'm talking about. Looking like oh my God. Oh. Who was that? It was Young Thug, Lil Wayne, Birdman. That chick looked like Birdman talking to me. Chick, you look like Birdman calling me gay. Heterosexual men don't want to bang Birdman ass face women. Mississippi variants, dude. I'm telling you, the Mississippi variants is a bitch. I wish I could pull up a picture. I'm gonna post it on my story. Because I responded to a Mississippi ass variant. Lifestyle on the track, bitch. Oh my God. Lifestyle. Yeah. Lifestyle on the track, bitch. Every time y'all see one of them Mississippi ass variants, y'all just go, lifestyle and the track, bitch. I don't feel it, the lifestyle. You're gonna top up the minute, buck, right town. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I'm gonna go to hell. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. Oh, I see you in the StreamYards. Yeah. Only top of the MacBook, give me the get, yeah. Light down on the track, bitch. She probably took a comment down because she know I'm about to just flame her up. Light down on the track, bitch. Hello.
No.
Okay, go ahead and get you something to eat. I'm about you back out. Come back when you finish eating. The winner did the lifestyle. Came up from the bottom and came from I don't know the words. Yeah. On top of the make again. Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking for that post. I'm gonna post it up there. She probably took it down. Looking like Birdman Jr. Birdman Jr. Birdman Auntie. Oh my God. You guys are horrible. I am going to have nothing but coal in my Christmas sock. My Christmas stocking will not be hung by the chimney with care. She gonna like, I'm gonna put some doo-doo in your Christmas stocking. I can't stand you. How you gonna call me Birdman Jr.? I worked for 6 weeks to get them Cartier glasses. Them Cartier glasses was the shit. I got that buffalo horn. That shit ain't buffalo. Buffalo horn. That shit is donkey. You got them donkey horn Cartier. Buffalo horn. Made out of authentic donkey ass. Oh, Big Shirley, don't get mad at me.
I got beans, greens, potatoes, tomatoes, lamb, rams, hog, dogs, chicken, turkeys, rabbits. You name it!
All right, let's get back to Instagram.
Knife down on the track, bitch.
Oh my God. Oh my God, my God. Oh my God, I'm going to hell. Smoke show. Smoke show, smoke show, smoke show. You say you have many high-level men vetting you right now to be their wife.
Yeah.
Most women, okay. How many?
I'm gonna say about 3.
Uh-huh. How old is the oldest?
45.
How old is the youngest?
He's about 26.
He's not a higher level man.
Well, I mean,
No, there's no. See, guys, look at the hearts. Graduated college, 45. How much does a 45-year-old make?
About 150,000.
What does he do for a living?
He's a skyscraper.
Say again.
Oh man.
Say again. He does what?
I say he's a skyscraper. That's what I said.
What does that mean?
Well, let's just simplify it. He puts elevators into buildings.
You know, a skyscraper is a building.
Well, that's the work he does, sir. That's what he considers himself. That's the job title that he gave, and that's what I'm giving you.
And how long have you been seeing this man?
About 6 months.
How many children does he have?
2.
Has he been married before?
No.
But he has 2 kids. How many baby mamas?
2.
Right. So he's a skyscraper. 2 kids, 2 different women, and you're in New York?
Yeah.
Making 150, so that's roughly 75,000. Anywhere else? And then a 26-year-old went to college.
Mm-hmm.
What does he do for a living?
Well, he joined NYPD, so he's actually in classes for that now, which isn't a lot of money because they make probably about 45 a year.
And how are you calling him a high-level man?
Well, I go with the intelligence and how you treat me. I'm not gonna go by your salary because at the end of the day, I
don't give a shit what you go by. That's not what the world goes by.
I'm listening to you because I got on here to get some knowledge from you, you know? So I'm gonna listen to what you gotta say.
Well, all we gotta do is look at your life. You make up your own definitions.
Yeah.
You make up your own rules. You call shit what you want them to. And my question is, when you retire at 65, when you retire at retirement age 65,
mm-hmm.
Are you gonna have your your $2.4 million you're gonna need to live between 65 and 85?
No.
Okay.
I'm not even gonna sit here and say yes.
Then who's gonna pay for you?
Well, I mean, I have goals in life that I'm working on.
Yeah, man, you're 37. Who's gonna pay for you? I asked you, when you get to be 65 and life is on the way being over, there is no more goals in life. You're a senior citizen.
Uh-huh.
Who's going to pay for you? No husband, no kids. Who's going to pay?
Well, it's whatever I have at that point, what I've done.
And when the money runs out,
right?
The money runs out, and you can't pay your rent. What happens?
I don't think it's gonna get to that level.
Oh yeah, it will. Yes, it will. See, that's why I asked you. You're going to need your 2.4 million because you're going to have to live for 20 years. You're going to have to pay your rent. You're going to have to pay your utilities, groceries, elder care. Money runs out. If you don't have enough money and it runs out, that means you can't pay something. Your biggest bill is your rent. When you can't pay your rent, what happens? When anyone can't pay their rent, what happens?
They get evicted.
Right. Then where do you go?
I don't see my life like that.
I don't give a shit. Where do you go if you get evicted?
I mean, to the streets, a shelter.
Right, thank you. And see, this is why none of these women foresee being evicted on the street. They're not gonna have the money, because if you had a career, you should be able to take care of yourself, because if you've chose to be unmarried, that means you've chose to take on the financial responsibilities by yourself. That means you gotta pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if a man was in your position and couldn't pay for it, where would he end up?
Same place I'll end up, right on the streets.
But why don't men understand this and y'all think you think, so you can't honestly, so let's just say in my scenario, you don't have the money. Let's just say you have half the money. Let's just say you got 1.2 million, which we know that's not true. Let's just say you got it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't work anymore.
Okay.
Where do you think it's going to come from? The
well,
money.
That's what retirement plans are for.
Ma'am, I don't care what you call it. It totals up to a certain amount of money.
Right.
If you got half of what you need, call it whatever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Where's the other part gonna come from? See, I'm not laughing. I'm talking to a 40-year-old woman, and y'all are chuckling like this is a game.
It's not a game.
But
It's
you're
There's
laughing.
no answer for it. There's no
Yeah,
answer.
it is. You mean you'll be eating cat food, dog food. You'll be homeless. You're in New York City. It's called the street. This world is not set up for average earning payroll officer women to live by themselves.
Well, I don't work for a little company, so.
I don't care. Do you make more than 6 figures?
No.
Do you make more than 90,000?
Yes.
Less than 100?
No.
You make more than 90,000 a year?
Yes, I do.
Less than 100?
No, I do not.
Then you make 6 figures?
My love, I make 150,000.
This woman, I just asked you make 6 figures. She said no. You can get.
We on Instagram, and I don't know who's watching to be knowing my salary.
Nobody gives a shit what you make, man. It's $75,000 adjusted. That ain't no money in New York City.
No, I make no 75,000. I make 100.
Rent adjusted. I used to live in New York City, and I know how much it costs. I'm in New York City every month. Rent. How much is your rent? Rent is around $3,000 a month. That's $36,000 a year. So you can make 150. You still ain't gonna have enough money to live. You pay you pay federal tax, state tax, city tax.
Mm-hmm.
You're not talking to somebody who don't know what they're talking about.
I respect what you're saying.
You respect it or not, man, but the bottom line is you are choosing to be an unmarried woman out here. You better be able to pay for yourself between 65 and 85, because the government ain't doing it. There won't be Social Security. Whatever you make, whatever you invest is what you got to live on. And if you run out of money, just like if we run out of money, you will be on the street.
No, I have a lot of resources. I highly doubt that.
Exactly. They always think somebody else. This is why I always think somebody else is going to pay for it. A lot of resources. But the one resource you don't have is a husband and family. And that's my ultimate point. You lived with a man for 13 years and wasted 13 years of building a network and a family and a security and a social safety net. So now you got to talk this shit like you got a career and you're making money, you got all these resources. You're just a chick with a payroll officer job. Congratulations.
I mean, I will congratulate myself because actually.
Of course you will. Of course you will. They always congratulate themselves because they.
Why wouldn't I?
Because man, it ain't gonna work. Congratulate yourself if you know you're gonna have your retirement money. You're at 65. Until then, there is nothing to be congratulated on. But see, this is what happens when we give 8th place trophies. And we tell everybody that they're a winner and everybody there's a queen. We tell women that don't matter and they think that they won't be the one. They can't comprehend of a world to where they're gonna lose. Man, every day I talk to women in your position.
Right.
I don't think it's funny because I listen to women like yourself, and y'all don't understand how dire of a situation you're in. That's how blind y'all are.
I'm not blind and I'm not dumb and I'm not stupid. I do have things on the table that I know I'm going to be okay.
Mm-hmm. Investments? So things on the table, you come from money?
No, but I'm going to have a nice big check when I'm done with my lawsuit, so I'm okay.
Oh, a lawsuit.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm okay. Yeah, I have my own organization. I do contracts on the side. So.
Not even worth it. Do men choose women based on money first?
Yes, absolutely. Oh my God, that's the perfect question. Yes, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Where you from, man? Where you from, man?
I'm from Mississippi.
Mississippi goddamn variants. I swear to God.
I'm from Mississippi.
When people are poor, they honestly believe, especially when you're poor-minded. So men pick women based on money.
Yes, absolutely. Status. Yes.
No, man. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's not even, I don't even want to do this, but I'm gonna do you.
I'll make you famous.
You're gonna become famous, man. Because men pick women based upon looks first. In the comment section, gentlemen, ma'am, were you raised with your father?
I was.
Do you have any brothers?
I don't.
Okay. And you're how old again?
29.
You've been wrong on fully about 80% of the things that have come out of your mouth. And you haven't, and it doesn't matter if I use facts, data. You can go, and you're a social worker, go pull it all this for yourself. You're saying that men pick women based upon the money. Okay, then that's a question. Why do you have women like Jill Scott? What was that woman's name? Down here in Georgia. Ran for governor. Stacy, whatever her name is.
Oh yeah, the lady with you.
Mm-hmm. Why do you have these women who are chronically single if men pick women based upon money first? Why do black women report the more education they have and the more money they make being less married?
I don't know.
Well, according to what you say, men pick women based upon money first.
Yeah.
But according to the numbers, they don't. Stacey Abrams, successful woman, she has money. Where's her husband? Gabrielle Sidibe. She had to go get an average-looking white dude. Do you want to retract that statement?
I don't. I stand on that, and I believe that. I mean, that's just some women. I mean, some women that you're not. Oprah. Oprah has a man.
Oprah's unfucking married.
She's not married, but she has money.
Thank you.
But she could be married if she.
No, she couldn't. No, she couldn't.
Oprah could not be married to Stedman if she wanted to.
First of all, I move Oprah to the side because Oprah, there's a question about something. Man, why? So what do men choose women based upon? If women choose men based upon money, what do men choose women based upon?
Men choose women based upon money. Women pick men solely off love.
Ooh. And this is a social worker, y'all. I mean, I'm to the point where I don't even want to make any jokes because this is so sad.
It's the truth.
No, ma'am. You are danger, and you advise other women.
I do. Absolutely, yes. I do. Absolutely, yes.
Ma'am, you really shouldn't have said that.
Why? It's the truth. I wouldn't lie to you. It's the truth.
Because you shouldn't be advising anybody. This woman actually says men pick women based upon money. Then if that's the case, why do women who have PhDs and MBAs and everything else, why aren't they married? Especially in our community. Because we have the most educated women, right?
Yeah.
Okay, why do we have the lowest marital rate?
Sometimes
Why
we get married and
one in four black women will marry anybody. Not just black men. 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. So you can't make it a black man issue. If men excuse me, you're not gonna fucking put this on black men. I will destroy you if you try that shit. I said okay, as long as you don't try that, we can have the conversation, but 1 in 4 black women will marry in their lifetime. If we have the most educated, meaning making money and education, then why are they the least married? If men choose women based upon status.
some women are very busy. They have busy schedules. Some educated women have very busy schedules. So they really don't have time to date.
Talk to me about, excuse me, ma'am. I don't want to talk about, see what you do is when you start losing an argument, you start to deflect to the minority. Talk to me about the majority, 50% of the women in question who are educated, but yet 1 in 4 were married. Don't talk to me about some, talk to me about the majority. Why are 1 in 4 marrying? And actually the marital rate drops as black women go up in education and up in income, which is an up in status. Why does marriage drop? Don't tell me about the ones that are some that are too busy. If men pick women based on if men pick women based on status, why are these higher status women more unmarried?
I believe that they get to the point where it's like, I've been single, I've been alone by myself, or while they're getting their education, they're dating, but it's just not a connection.
Shame, insults, guilt, and the need to be right. Ma'am, you just contradicted your own point and you won't stop. Bag? What room you gonna put it in? See, one of the things that's happened in our culture is we've pumped so much bullshit into it. So we've had young ladies like you watching people talk about manifest, the secret kind of stuff. All right, fine. Faith. I was baptized at 5. I've been a man of faith my entire life. But faith without works is what? I don't want a Bible bump with me. Faith without works is what?
I mean,
faith without works is what?
That's hope then. You're not talking about
faith without works is dead.
Can you reach for a Bible right now?
Now I want you to look at the stubbornness in this. I want you guys to understand this is Order 66 that I talked about yesterday and the day before. This is what it is. This is what was programmed by Big Mama. That's why I said I don't really feel sad. I mean, so I'm not so hard because this was programmed in women like yourself. This is Order 66. She's too young to have gotten this far off track by herself.
Correct.
But unfortunately, the world doesn't care.
Correct.
And who else sits here and talks to women like you day in and day out? whether you like it or not. And I got more women saying thank you.
Please, you
No,
shoot
don't.
down and you tell get a
Then,
man.
then you tell me, okay, I shoot them down.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you want to say, ma'am.
I'm
Fine. I'm sorry. If that's what you want to say, because I'm not going to tell you that you know what you're talking about when you don't. And I'm going to use this as a lesson because, and let's just say I do shoot them down. Let's just take it your way. I shoot them down. Does it help them?
I have no clue. They gotta.
Whoa! Stop right there. Stop right there.
Follow up.
Hold on. Stop right there. Stop right there. Let's just say I do shoot them down. Does it help them? You say you have. If you say you have no clue, then what are you talking about?
Okay.
See, this is why so many black women are so easily taken advantage of. This is why you got white guys who can get on TikTok and just call you queens and everything else, and y'all will just watch them, give them hundreds of thousands of views and donate. You're easily manipulated by somebody telling you what the hell you want to hear. Calling you a queen, telling you this and that, and y'all will just run out and stand in line and buy the books and everything else, sign up for their courses. But somebody comes along and tells you the truth that you can go look up for yourself, hard realities that everybody else deals with in life that you can observe yourself, and you turn around and call it negative. But the only person that's losing is women who look like you. If I wanted to shoot you down, I would sit around and do what everybody else does and write books and tell you you're queens and line up and get the bag. I don't have to do this. I ain't had to spend the last 20 minutes to try to talk to somebody whose head is as solid as that rock you're behind you. But I know somebody else that looks like you, as young as you, was listening and starting to say, you know what? In her, I see me, and there's a problem. You ain't used to having a man talk to you, and that is understandable because most of us didn't grow up with fathers. But you are still responsible for who you are in this world, young lady. Whether your father was there or not, your mother and your father, I don't know what that situation is, but you're 20 some odd years old. You got to get yourself through this world. And it ain't by sitting around having opinions and manifesting. You don't manifest and carry your ass to the armed services. Going to the armed services because you need some substance and security. If you really want to put this manifest shit to the test, you would turn down Uncle Sam's paycheck and his benefits, and you'd carry your ass out into the city and see if you can manifest the real living. Take that art and stuff you say you're so good at, don't go the government benefit way, go out there.
I am. I'm in LA.
Uh-huh. But you forgot the first part. You're in the reserve.
Okay.
That ain't free. You get paid for that. And you're talking about going, did you say full-time or something like that?
Possibly, if my
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
why go into a place that has structure, authority, discipline, and rules? If you're gonna manifest in such a creative, that's counterintuitive. If you can manifest and believe, then go on out there.
you
in
do
LA.
4 hours a day. It would provide me income in order to do so.
Ding, 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 ding. This is why I don't feel sorry, because at the end of the day, they know how to survive when it gets right down to it. Bottom line, yep, you just proved my point.
No.
Yeah, you did. You don't understand you did, but you did.
Your point is to get a man and have him provide for me. That
ain't my point. That ain't my point. Damn sure ain't my point to you. Where have I said to you to go get a man in this conversation?
I'm talking about your overall.
No, I'm talking to you. No, I'm talking to you. Where have I said in this conversation? See, you pulling shit out from all these different conversations. What you think about? What have I said once about you going to get a man? What have I told you? You need some therapy. You need some structure. I ain't said damn nothing about a man.
Why do I need therapy?
Because you're broken.
How am I broken?
Watch the replay.
What have I told you?
Watch the replay, ma'am. What you've told me and what I've gleaned, just look in the comment section what the women say.
It's because of a man. It's because of a man that I'm broken.
Okay, well, whatever. Okay, if that's the case, you're still broken. I didn't say why.
I was trying to help you prove your point. I'm
Oh
not.
no, man, no. It's because of a man you're broken. I didn't say why you're broken. I just said you were broken. What are you doing about your brokenness?
Making myself do what I gotta do.
So you're doing it yourself.
Yes.
What qualifies you to do that?
Me being alive, breathing.
Okay. A lawyer who represents himself has a fool for a client. What's wrong with going to get some therapy? What's wrong with sitting down and talk to somebody who's trained in this kind of stuff?
Wrong.
So then do it. What's the worst that could happen? Order 66, y'all. She admits, I'm broken. She said, I wouldn't know what I was talking about. Then it is, I'm broken, but I'm broken because of the men. See, your life, you've been used to being able to blame men. I don't care. You know what the issue is. What are you going to do about it?
You're right.
I know I am.
A man tried to break me.
What are you doing about it? Man, we heard what you said, and we all see what we see. Ma'am, you can say what you want to. These hearts are coming from men and women alike. The only one that doesn't seem to understand what's going on is you. And I'm not doing this to hurt you or embarrass you. I'm doing this to help you. You'll thank me one day. Because you're too young to be this sour.
Ooh, who's sour? You sour. If anybody's sour.
Right.
Sour. Because where is your woman in all of this? Where is your woman?
Mm-hmm. She's where she needs to be. No. Are we talking about relationships now? Hold on. Are we talking about relationships now? Is that what you want to do?
I'm saying.
Okay. She's where she needs to be. Where's your man?
Back in New York, and that's not my man no more.
Is that the one that tried to break you?
Mm-hmm.
Because mine don't do that. Mine plays her role. She knows her part, and she's glad to have it.
Quiet.
Excuse me?
Like she be quiet?
She ain't quiet.
That's hard.
See, you don't understand nothing. That's why I said you're broken.
Okay.
This is why I said you're broken. And ain't nothing wrong with being broken. But you need to address it. Because you walk into the world this way, and this is what the world gets. The other two women on the panel weren't like you. They came in at a different energy, a different place. You were the one I focused on because you were the one in trauma. You were the one in distress. You were the one that's looking for something. And you didn't sit here for a reason. And you didn't join back on here because you didn't need something. You're just too proud to admit you do. Because if you didn't want to be sitting here, you didn't have to take the re-invitation. Young lady, we all fail in life. It ain't easy.
Right.
But we need help. You're not,
Yes.
then you can't do it yourself.
From a man, a specific man in my life, that's what I don't need.
I said therapy.
Okay.
And what is the problem with men? Why at 22 are men so bad? I don't need help from a man. Well, do respect this military you're going to get into? That's a male organization.
But it's a job at the end of the day. It's a
but it's made by men.
It's business.
It's run by men.
As long as they're being
It's run by men. I thought you didn't need no man. Everything you got in this world, a man made. The building you in, the building you in, the wall that's behind you was not constructed by females. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm blessed by the best.
What do you got for me?
Well, there was someone that follows you, and he asked me, we were in his live, and he asked me, had I heard of someone named Kevin Samuels? So I said no. So I went to your page, and I was listening to some of the stuff that you were, or your conversations with.
Can you hold the camera still, please?
The dog. Get the dog off me, please. Come here. Get the dog. Get him.
Down.
Get him. Thank you. Okay. Excuse me. So I went on and I was listening to some of your conversation that you were having.
Ma'am, do you have a question?
Can you ask me a question? Sure.
I said, do you have a question? I mean,
Yeah, this is my question, because as I listen at your content and your conversation, to me, and I'm not being judgmental, but what I notice is that most of the ladies that you talk to are younger women. And usually if your words when you're speaking to someone, it should be to inspire, educate, and uplift. But to me, just listening to what you were saying, do you have women issues? Because it seems like you do.
That's not a question. That's a judgment.
Do you have women issues? That is the question.
Do I have women issues?
Yeah, because
this is how we're gonna do this. I'm being polite. I'm trying to let you speak, but if you got a point. If you got a point.
So you asked me, did I have a question? That was my question.
Yeah. Do I have women issues? No.
You don't?
No, and that goes to, and how long have you been watching my content?
Long enough.
No, apparently not.
I mean, because I'm watching what you
apparently
posted.
not, because I have over.
Because you.
Okay.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I apologize. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I don't know you. Okay. And what I'm trying to let you understand is I have over 800 videos, and if you've watched a handful, what you've already come in and shown me is you've not watched my content thoroughly, and definitely not in good faith. If you come through asking me if I have woman issues.
Well, I mean, I don't think I have to watch all 800.
No, I didn't say you had to watch all 800. If you just watched about 5 of them, there'll be plenty. Because you know what? In the last 6 months, because of my work, 8 black couples have got together in 3 engagements. How can a man with woman issues have that result?
Okay, so would you say that
No, ma'am. So that goes to disprove what you're talking about. There are plenty of videos that are up that show me talking to men and women the same way. But the question on the floor tonight is, why are modern women so bad at relationships?
Well, can I say something to you first off?
I've already let you say what you have to say, but I have a show, and the polite thing to do would be to respond to at least the question that's on the show. Are you married?
Right. Am I married? Are you married?
I'm going to ask you one more time, and if not, I can bid you a good night.
Oh, so the narrative is if I'm not.
Are you married? If you're not going to,
what does that matter?
Okay,
I'll say this much: I choose not to be in a relationship.
Woo! Where's Jeff? Oh my God! And you wonder, what up, dog? Get the dog off of me! Oh my God! You can't make this shit up. I choose not to be married. She said, do you have woman issues? And I'm like, look, homeboy, you're the last person. Do you have problems with people? Do you have people questioning whether you were naturally born a woman? It's the real question. Oh my God. This is why I don't deal with older women, because women like her are disingenuous. This woman has not watched my content. She came over here with that long drawn out, well, I'm going to try to just get to the insult, lady. Get to the insult so you can actually prove yourself and show yourself to be exactly what people over here know you are. And these are the women that have been speaking in the Black community, unchecked, unexamined for 50 years. 50. These are the women who've had the microphone. These are the women who have raised a generation of women who to be harder and a generation of men to be softer. But when they're starting to look at those final years by themselves, you got a woman sitting up there with curly fries on her head questioning me when you know she's sitting there thinking about salt. that ain't too far away. And now they're mad. They're mad because it's like, I don't know you. I don't know you, and I didn't do what I didn't make your life the way it is. I mean, just pissed. I choose not to be married. Looking like the seventh temptation. Oh, get the dog off me. Lord have mercy. I choose not to be married. Yeah, I know, dude. I thought that was Evelyn Champagne King's older sister. I swear to God, I looked, I was like, is that Evelyn Champagne King? Strong ass jawline. Carl Weathers looking. I'm like, well, I don't want to be too mean, but dang. Y'all remember Evelyn Champagne King? When Evelyn Champagne King came out, people said that was not a man. It was not a woman. Mad aggressive, dude. Mad aggressive. But I bet you she got a mean left hook. I choose not to be married. And you know what really pisses them off when you ask the question, are you married? You can always tell when you get an aggressive woman and ask a question that triggers them, because they repeat the question, because they're like, oh, how dare you? So when they repeat the question, what they're saying is, no, this mother sucker didn't. Are you married? Are you married? You know, she had to, oh God, I'm going to hell for this. I'm going to hell for, y'all ever see Saw? Y'all ever see the movie Saw? Y'all remember the movie Saw and Jigsaw? Jigsaw has those round circles on his face and then those sharp ass features. Looking like Jigsaw. Jigsaw up in this mud. Jigsaw with Rick James hair. Are you married? No, sir, I'm not. Well, why are you asking me? I just thought I'd ask. You know? You can't say that to me. I got a question for you. Is that what? That's what was on the phone? Is that not what was on there? Oh shit! What the hell? Are you married? Do you have issues with women? Get the dog off me! Oh God! Oh Jesus! Get the dog off of me! Oh shit! You can't make this shit up, man. Are you married? Can you imagine rolling over that in the morning? I need some loving. Give me some of that sexual chocolate. I need some of that BJC. Gimme. Give me some of that loving. Get off my hair. Get off my hair, Fido. I'm trying to get some of that loving. Get off my hair before I put you outside. Will somebody take the dog out? I'm trying to get it hit from the back. Get some. Oh. Oh shit. Know who you're dealing with. I suggest you learn who you're dealing with before you start me. That's what I would say about that. I would say about oh, I need somebody to animate that shit. Oh my God. Oh. Are you married? Are you married? Well, no, ma'am, I'm not. Understand, that woman was a complete stranger to me. And I reflect back what people give me. She had an opportunity to come in and ask the question. But she came in with an intent to be a jerk because she's an upset woman. And the things I say bother her because they're true. They're true. And I'm sorry, ma'am. If what I say bothers you. Now, the prize is, I'm going to start making announcements on the prize and the catch. Because what I'm going to start doing is putting, and let me also say something about older women. You have a lot of younger women. No, I have a bunch of women, period. But I don't have a lot of older women out because YouTube doesn't skew older. But in general, no one wants to hear a bunch of women who don't want to be reasonable. Okay? So, older women, I've had older women on my show who are perfectly reasonable, but many are like you, ma'am, and no one wants to hear you. We've heard you our entire life. You're our grandmothers and our aunts. You're some of the mothers. You're the women in the neighborhood. You're the woman at the checkout counter. You're the woman in the drive-thru. You're the woman in customer service. You're the woman in the credit department. You are the caricature that troubles so many African-American women's overall image, being difficult, being ornery. We know you. And what bothers you is that we know you. We know you and you don't like that we know you. And what you do has worked for you because no one could actually say anything to you for the longest. Now people are starting to say, no, we don't want to talk to you. We've heard you. We've heard you. We've heard your bitterness. We've heard your anger. We've heard your facts. We've heard your statistics. And all that stuff doesn't work. You're at the end of the day, it's you, your dog, your point of view, and you're entitled to have that. But the rest of us are going to go on and do something that makes us happy, a life with each other. So choosing not to be married, most people choose to be in a relationship. You got kids? Most people want to have a man, a husband with those kids. Not just a kid and a damn dog. So I stand by the things I say because I only reflect what you give me. Let's go put Jigsaw to work. I'm about to put Jigsaw on the stroll. I'm about to put Jigsaw on the blade. Jigsaw gonna be doing tricks. Jigsaw gonna be twerking on. Jigsaw gonna be twerking on TikTok. Jigsaw gonna be twerking on Reels. Jigsaw gonna be twerking on YouTube. Jigsaw gonna be twerking on Twitter, on Facebook. Everybody, do me a favor, before we go out, everybody put up the clown emojis. Put up the clown emojis, because that's the closest thing we got to Jigsaw. Put up the clown emojis and thank Jigsaw for the content sheet. We're about to put Jigsaw in some $2 pumps, and we're gonna ride her ass like Trigger on the blade. Jigsaw gonna be my bottom biznatch. I'm about to ride you like Willie Dynamite. I'm about to ride you like Willie Dynamite. That's right, Jigsaw. Anybody remember Willie Dynamite? Hold on. Come on, put the clown emojis up. Put the clown emojis up. We're gonna ride her like Willie Dynamite. Willie Dynamite. Willie Dynamite. I love Willie. We're gonna ride him like Willie Dynamite. Ride you like Willie Dynamite.
It's okay, baby. You cool. Do what you want. I give you your release.
We gonna ride you like Willie Dynamite. Put up the clown emojis. Ride her like Willie. Go on, Willie. Come on, Willie. Come on, Willie. Yeah, get a Willie. You mess with the right one, baby. You mess with the right one. You got to have vision, Willie. You got to have vision. You know what I'm saying? You got to have vision. or you kind of run like a solitary rat. Really Dynamite is one of the best pimp flicks ever. You got to have vision. Willie, Willie, Willie. What's wrong, Willie? Come on. The heat's coming down, baby. Got to all together. I don't want to get copyright strike. Ride your ass like Trigger, Jigsaw. But at least you got a dog to protect you while you're out there on the blade. Make sure you take your dental, your little denture guard, so you make sure you get a hot throat. Whoo. And no more of them cheeseburger deals. I want my money. Don't be bringing me back no cheeseburgers and no radios and no VCRs. I want cash, okay? $50. I want cash, all right? No S&H green stamps, no used EBT cards, no MCI, long distance calling cards. You know, sometimes you get a little up there in age, so they be trying to pay her at anything. They be paying her in trading stamp, talking about, hey, take these down to Otasco or TGNY, or you can buy this as service merchandise. Hey, and the last time you came in here with them Blockbuster coupons, Blockbuster been out of business for 20 years, Jigsaw. I cannot make nothing with Blockbuster coupons. You understand? So I'm gonna need you to make sure you get your mind in the game, loosen that wig, and get some my cash. Cash. Coins will do, because we know you're getting on up there in age. You ain't getting premium prices like you used to, but hey. But no more coupons. And no more Groupons either. None of that. Nope, nope, nope. And look, the last time somebody tried to talk to you about Bitcoin, it almost gave you a seizure. It almost gave your old ass a seizure because, you know, you ain't too tight. Bitcoin ain't for you. Bitcoin is for the young ones. You need some bits of coins. All right. Well, I better learn. You're going to learn next time. All right, then. Peace out. 5 basic shoes that any guy needs for his wardrobe. Welcome to the channel where fashion meets fragrance. My name is Kevin Samuels, your style godfather. And guys, in today's video, I give you a must, a simple must. 5 shoes that every guy needs in his wardrobe, regardless of style, personality. You're gonna wanna take notes for this one. If you like this kind of video, cool, go ahead and subscribe and drop a like down below. Shout out to the CIA. What's going on, gentlemen? Guys, if you've been watching my channel any length of time, you know I talk about fit over fashion, quality over quantity, and I talk about the 3 F's, frames, fragrance, and footwear. But there is one individual item that is a must when any guy is starting to put together any kind of outfit. It all starts with the shoes. You get the shoes right, you're on the right track. However, you get the shoes wrong and you can have a $10,000 bespoke suit and look like trash can sauce. Guys, I see it each and every week. I can see a guy that is immaculately dressed, and then I look down at his shoes and I'm like, oh man, come on. That's what you decide to put on your feet? You got this dope fit on and you walking around with these busted shoes on. But don't worry guys, I got you covered. Let me give you the 5 basic shoes that any man needs, regardless of his style, personality, age, season, reason, climate, whatever. Let's get started. Shout out to the CIA. One love, FBI. If you want to become part of the movement, make sure you join me on Patreon for exclusive video and live stream content. Join me on that platform for things you will only see there. Details down in the description. A simple pair of black lace-ups, commonly called Oxfords, is a staple in a classic masculine wardrobe. For my style personality, I prefer hole cut, but you can go ahead and get cap toe. Cap toe or hole cut. Those are the only two options. Do not get things with medallions or broken or anything like that on your basic Oxford. These are the shoes you're going to wear on that interview. These are the shoes you're going to wear into that boardroom. You can wear these shoes all the way up to and including a tuxedo. Like I said, they're the workhorse foundation of your wardrobe. Get quality footwear. Number 2, we have a great pair of single monk or double monk strap shoes. Now guys, here is where I want to tell you to not always go to black. Guys, black is a great color and most guys want to go to black automatically. But I need you to remember that black is more of a dramatic color. When you start getting into the other shoes, you want to start looking at different shades of brown. This is a nice mid brown with some burnishing on the toe. I chose a nice single monk strap, but it could have been single or double monk. I recommend focusing on browns in your monk straps because they add a tremendous depth to your wardrobe. You can wear these all the way up to level 2 dress. That means you can wear these with a suit, but not in classic business or boardroom kind of environments. These can be worn with jeans, slacks, chinos. Opens up your wardrobe so much. Guys, trust me, the monk straps have the benefit of being a dress shoe, but they also have the benefit of being kind of cool, kind of sexy, and making you look so much different than any other guy on the street. Next up, we have a simple loafer. Now this is my loafer, but yours will vary. A loafer will either be penny, bit, or tassel. Most guys will use a bit or a penny. Tassels depend upon your style personality, but at the end of the day, loafers are something that you just slide your foot into. You can wear them with socks or with no-show socks. And yes, you can also rock and wear loafers with a suit. However, most guys prefer to have lace-ups on with the suit because it makes you feel a little bit more snug. And depending upon your style personality or the environment you work in, people can kind of tend to look down on loafers because they look a little bit too informal. But when you wear them with a pair of jeans or a great pair of trousers, they open up your wardrobe immensely. Now with monk straps and your loafers, this is the place where you can also take chances with different colors. Grays, blues, green, burgundy, kind of oxblood. So many different ways you could go there in addition to all different shades of brown. Next up, we have the simple all-purpose white sneaker. Yep, guys, the simple white sneaker will always be a staple in a man's wardrobe. Now, depending upon your style personality will depend on what kind of sneaker you get, but you can't go wrong with the simple, high quality leather with a nice, solid sole. I prefer you to get a sole that would stand up to an industrial strength nail or tack. Guys, the worst thing to do is be walking around in some sneakers and you're looking a little bit more casual and you step on something and it pierces that sole. I know a lot of guys look at this particular style and think, oh, I can just give me some Stan Smiths, but guys, remember, quality says a lot. Get a high quality pair of all white sneakers, especially if you plan on trying to dress it up. And last, but certainly not least, the boot, the Chelsea boot. A simple, sleek Chelsea boot is incredible for any man of any style personality. Chelsea boots do many things for guys. First off, it's fashion forward. It makes you look sleek, modern, while still making you look masculine and rugged. If you're on the shorter side, it can add 1 or 2 inches to your height. Also, because of the design, it actually is a little bit more snug on your ankle to make you kind of feel more held in. And as we transition into the fall and the winter time, it also adds additional warmth. Guys, I'll be honest, you know me, I am wearing boots most of the time, even at my height, because I simply love boots. Now, yes, a simple black pair of Chelseas is a must-have for, I want to say, almost any guy. Then after you get that, do not be afraid to go out and get a nice lace-up dress boot or a chucker boot. Also, as we transition into the fall and the winter, suede is going to make a huge impact into a boot wardrobe. Again, I just wanted to give you the 5 basic shoes you need. Now, going forward from these 5 shoes, everything else is basically a lifestyle choice, a style choice. What colors you get, what materials you get, things like that are up to you. But these are the basic 5 shoes that any guy will need in his wardrobe, no matter what season, no matter what reason, no matter what age, no matter what climate. Nail these 5 and you are golden. If you like this kind of video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share it out to somebody that you think can use the information. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until the next time. Talk at you later. Godfather, out. Hey guys, whether look, style, or life, whether personal or professional, you can level up and be your personal best each and every day. If you're interested in any of that, do us both a favor. Follow the link in the description and book your one-on-one session with me. Details down in the description. Peace. We're back with my 5 favorite Chanel designer fragrances. You're gonna dig this. Welcome to the channel where fashion meets fragrance. My name is Kevin Samuels, your style godfather. Guys, in today's video, we're gonna get straight to it. I love the brand of Chanel because they are completely uncompromising. When you think of brands that are the best, Chanel is up there. Chanel is exclusive, sophisticated, and known to not compromise with their brand. When it comes to anything that they do well. Today, I want to talk about 5 of my favorite designer Chanel fragrances that I think actually make a great end-to-end fragrance collection for men. Let's get started. First up from the Allure line, and the Allure line is heavily represented today, the Allure Homme Sport Cologne. Allure Homme Sport Cologne is a great, warm, hot day spring fragrance. If it's 85 degrees plus and you almost don't want to feel like wearing anything, this is a great fragrance. It's clean, it's fresh, it's bright, it's vibrant, it's white t-shirt approved, but you can also dress it up. And the beautiful thing about this is it smells so great on a hot day when it catches the wind and just goes. This is one of those fragrances that just smells incredible on anybody, from teenager to senior citizen. Chanel Allure Homme Sport Cologne is a great one. And I gotta go ahead and swing for the fences since we're talking about summertime warm weather. One of the kings of summer, Chanel Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme. This thing, guys, I will tell you, don't be deceived smelling it indoors. You have to put this on your skin, let it be 80 plus degrees outside, and let a wind catch it. Women will turn their heads and seek you out. This thing is a compliment monster, and it is a conversation starter. I would tell you, with all the fragrances I own, close to 1,500 fragrances, I still wear this often in the summertime, and especially down here in Atlanta, when it gets really hot, really humid. This is on all the time. Eau Extreme is incredible and a must-have. A must-have from the Chanel line. Trust me, guys, you'll be glad you have this one. So we have warm weather casual, warm weather staple. Then we have Chanel Allure Homme Edition Blanche. This one is a doppelganger in my opinion. It works well on some people in the high heat. For me, I like to wear this as summer is transitioning into fall. This lemon meringue pie fragrance, guys, lemons tend to be hard to do well in perfumery. Chanel has mastered lemon in this line. This one right here, guys, I know it's harder to get in some places. I like the Eau de Parfum version. The EDT is harder to get, but trust me, guys, this fragrance smells great casual, smells great dressed up. It even smells great on a date night. Believe it or not, I like this, especially outdoors, warmer weather. This is incredible. Allure was heavily represented. That does not mean I don't like Inteas or Pour Monsieur or the original Allure Homme Sport. It just means I don't like them as much as I like these. So we have Chanel Egoise. Guys, this is like my 15th bottle of this stuff since it came out. This cinnamon, vanilla, sandalwood fragrance. I wear this simply for myself. The name means selfish. And when it came out, it was a hit and I still love it. Now, I will tell you this, as far as like a compliment monster, it never has been that, but this is a definite conversation starter. It's masculine, it's sophisticated, it's elegant, it's still playful, it's still boyish, but it's grown man sexy, and ladies love this stuff. And ladies love to talk to a man who smells like this. Again, I said it's not a compliment monster, but I know one thing is gonna happen. People are gonna say, what are you wearing? And that's good enough for your godfather. And last, but certainly not least, of the 5 Chanel designers you have to have, come on guys, Bleu de Chanel Parfum. Some people like the EDT, Most people like the EDP, but for me, the Parfum is where it is. It is not projection heavy like the EDP. It is more well-rounded. You know, the EDT is a little bit more playful, more juvenile. The EDP takes everything I liked about the EDT, makes it a little bit more rounded, amber notes, but here, it just settles it down, and this is just grown man, sophisticated, sexy. This is class in a bottle. Bleu de Chanel Parfum is class in a bottle and probably one of the best designer fragrances out there for the masses. For most fragrance snobs, they're probably gonna say, it smells generic, it smells cologne, but hey man, the public loves this. Loves it, loves it, loves it. So this is great. Bleu de Chanel Parfum smells great on a man when you're out running errands, when you're just a little bit, you're not really casual, you're a little bit more sporty you dress. It smells great in the office, business meetings, you know, professional functions, networking. When you want to smell like a gentleman, this is what you pull off. Signature scent worthy. Cannot say enough good things about Bleu de Chanel Parfum. And again, guys, with a large fragrance collection like I have, I can wear anything I want at any given time. Right now, I'm wearing Nascimento Pardon, but these still get wear in my rotation. These are the 5 Chanel designer fragrances that I love to wear. Do me a favor, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know what are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Chanel designer fragrances that you would have in your rotation. Inquiring minds would like to know. Your Godfather is out. Picking the right frame for your face, your image, and your outfit is a definite skill. Far too many guys just have one pair of sunglasses that they wear with anything, and this is where you're missing a huge opportunity. Remember the 3 F's: frames, fragrance, and footwear. Notice how I'm dressed right now. Power suit, white shirt, power tie. As when you dress like this, you don't want to be wearing a big chunky pair of acetate frames as a sunglass. This is great for an indoor frame as far as optical, but when you're going outside in the sunglass, I prefer a great aviator. Aviators are a classic pair of frames that any man can wear, silver or gold. Guys, when I'm dressed in gray, I tend to want to go with silver because in my mind, it's a little bit cooler of a metal. When you want to wear black, you can either wear silver or gold. I prefer gold when I'm wearing black because it's warmer. Notice how each one of these silver frames changes and complements exactly what I'm wearing right now.
It's not a problem, no, 'cause I know what I'm getting into. Yes. Yeah, and nothing can stop me. No, 'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow.
3 different frames from Jacques Remage. I will leave a link down in the description describing each one of the frames. Do me a favor, tell me which frame you like better and why. Frame 1, frame 2, frame 3. Inquiring minds would like to know.
I have one girl that's sticking out, and I'm kind of wondering, how do I vet her more to maybe figure out if she can be that lioness, or
How old
should
are
I
you?
just kind
How
of
old
put
are
her
you?
back into
How old are you?
26, turn 27?
Okay, what's the problem? What do you think I'm going to say the problem is with your question?
I am young, and
Yeah,
I know
exactly,
that, but
exactly. Nope, nope. It's a problem with your question. You 26-year-old dudes trying to step in at least, no. And even I was just trying to tell you, no. See, I'm going to say this to black men. Black men, young man, I need you to pay attention too. Stop trying to find your manhood through your dick. I want you black men to imagine a world where I did this. Snap my fingers. Thanos, Reality Stone, and away goes your penis and your balls. Every last one of your black dicks goes away. Then what are you? Your testosterone levels stay, your muscular levels stay, everything else remains, but your dicks are all gone. Where are you? What kind of man are you? Far too many of us black men try to make our masculinity and manhood through our dicks. We spend an inordinate amount of time in our youth trying to fuck our way into manhood. That's why you got so many young guys who aren't even where they should be, thinking, I can fuck my way in, I can make her this. And where do you rank amongst other men? We're the only group of men who walk around with our dick thinking that makes us a man. Go around other groups of men. They don't have to walk around and hi, I'm the CEO, hello, or whatever the accents you want to put in. They are not judged by their penis, their ability to fuck. And we have bought into this shit. Stop it. Stop leading with your dick. Stop leading with your game. Stop leading with your mouthpiece. So I said, lead with your wallet, which is your resume. Who you are. I don't hear as many young Asian men, Middle Eastern men trying to get women on the right page. I'm in law school, I'm in grad school, I'm in this, I'm in that, I'm trying to buy this business, I'm investing in it. And we're trying to fuck our way through. No. This is why like I said, I'm going to stick. We spend first time when I came to YouTube was the first time I heard all this talk, inordinate amount of talk of game. And I did it too. I'm not going to lie. I did it too. When I was young, I thought that made you a man. The more cut you got, the more you made a man. And there's a point in time when you're like, this is stupid. Every time you lay down with somebody, you risk either getting a sexually transmitted disease or creating a life. It's reckless. It's meaningless. And there are numbers you get to where you can be ashamed of, like, God, I've had all this sex for what? Fucking doesn't make you a man. Now fuck, but it doesn't make you a man. That's for the family. And see, I wish we had more black men. I wish I'd have had an older black man come tell me, yeah, man, I remember when I hit puberty and I started really, really digging girls. And everything out of my mouth was about women. And I had one dude, and my uncle, and I'm not uncle, but cousin, and he was like, man, everything you say is about women. He's like, I know you just hit puberty. He's like, but life is more than women. And he actually schooled me. He's like, just because you can bed a bunch of women and rap to a bunch of women, that don't make you a man. It's part of being a man, but you're still a man whether you got everything else. He's like, you watch. He told me, you watch. The guys who are the best with women now, when age 40, they're going to be, not 40. He's like, when we get older, they're going to be in the worst position. And you know what? The guys who blossom early, got their beard and their muscles and all that shit early, tended to have lower outcomes. Focus on the manhood first, gentlemen. Women come.
In this moment, yes, I cannot say what's wrong or right.
Okay, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Those were hers.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, are you a PhD?
No.
I'm a PhD.
How many dogs you got?
One.
Really?
I'm sorry?
What kind of dog is it?
He's a cane corso.
He's a what?
A cane corso.
What is that in English?
It's a larger dog, and their breed is meant for guarding and protecting. They're very protective of their home and their family.
Okay, so what's your disagreement?
Honestly, I don't have a disagreement. I just came here because I honestly want some advice from you.
It says disagreement day.
Oh, I know, but this is my first time catching you on live. Normally I'm asleep. And
You have a job?
I do. I own a business.
Okay, so I do too.
And I do have a question. If you
But
don't
I
mind.
have a business. And if you wanted my advice, you could always book a session if you can't catch us at the show live.
I'm definitely. I was trying to go online earlier.
But all you have to do, man, but see, what kind of business do you own?
I own a pet grooming, doggy daycare, and indoor
Okay,
dog
so what you're basically trying to do is I have a disagreement day, and you basically came in and said, damn your topic. I want to ask you what I want to ask you. And but you are more than welcome to go on my website and purchase your time to talk with me one-on-one. Because what you're trying to do is rather rude, but I will go ahead and do it because I'm going to use this as a teaching lesson. How old are you? How old are you?
I'm 35.
35 years old. 35 years old and you're a business owner.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. And what's your question?
So my issue is, I want to know at what point when I'm just meeting a guy, do I tell him that I'm a business owner? Because my problem is that when I try to date down and the conversation comes up to where I own a business, the guy is either like, hey, can I come join in on you on that business? Or can I put some money and be a business partner? And I'm not looking for that. And I honestly...
Hold on. I need to be clear on this subject. Where are you at?
North Carolina.
And you're saying when to tell somebody you own a business?
Because I find when I date down, guys see an interest and want to be like a business partner. And I'm learning that maybe I need a high value man because that's what
first off, ma'am, I really don't understand. What kind of man are you talking about? Because owning a business is no different than having a job, in my opinion. And I'm not getting what you're saying. When should you? I'm not understanding why this is an issue. If you're, what kind of men are you? What kind of men are you dating?
I try to give guys that not a chance.
You try to do what?
I try to give guys that's not on my level a chance.
Why? What do you mean on your level? What does that mean?
That's making 6 figures or more.
But I don't okay. You try to give guys who are not on your level a chance. Why?
And because I honestly want a 6-figure guy, is what I'm realizing.
Okay, so let me just go ahead and net it out for you. You ready?
Uh-huh.
The guys you want aren't asking you out.
Well, I haven't been putting myself out there, honestly.
But you put yourself out there enough for the guys you don't want or beneath you to ask you out.
Those are like guys I met online.
Right. So, again, the men you want are not asking you out. See, you ladies do this. You go and deal with men who you feel are beneath you, and then you ask how to fix them. I'm not beneath you. I don't know how to fix a guy that's down there. That's not my concern. The better question is, why can't you get a guy on your level? That's the real question. Well, first of all, I would tell you what I said in here automatically is a problem. Why you would come onto a show that you know is a disagreement day? It's selfish. It's like, well, yes, ma'am. It's like I want what I want. I don't say things for no reason. That's why I asked you questions. You're 35 years old, a business owner. That means you understand what business is, and you know this is a business. And I have a show title, and you said, "Damn your show title! I want to talk to you." But you could have went to my business and booked time to talk to me. But you wanted what you wanted, how you want it.
I'm sorry.
No, and I'm using this as a lesson. That's the problem with too many of you black women. You don't do shit the right way with black men. That was improper. And when I told you the right way, you still were like, well, whatever. So I'm gonna use this. When was the last time you had a relationship?
Like the end of last year around December.
How long did it last?
A year.
A year? And was that man, did you go to college?
Did I go to college?
Yes.
No, sir.
Okay, and how long have you owned your own business?
9 years.
And how long have you been making six figures or more?
The last 3.
Okay, why do you need a man making six figures?
Because I'm finding out that the guys that I date, it's not working out.
What does that have to do with money?
Because I feel like I need a guy that I can respect and admire, and I'm ambition, and I want a guy that has that drive too. And when he doesn't, I find myself, encourage him like, "Hey, babe, you can do this and you can do that." And then,
all right, so in North Carolina, what percentage of the population, what percentage of men in this country make six figures or more?
I think it's like 5%. I'm not
closer to 10. So,
okay.
10%. All right. So the question is, what do those men who make that kind of money, who all women tend to want, what do they want?
I feel like they want arm candy, somebody who can have more to bring to the table than just looks, but also bring balance to their life. I feel like I can help them out on
Okay, slow down. I'm not understanding. You said they want arm candy, then you contradicted yourself. They want somebody that more than just looks.
Yeah, arm candy, but something behind, brain with it, and more in depth.
Do you know any men who make six figures or more?
My dad and my uncle.
Do you know any men that you are related to that make six figures or more?
Unrelated to? Yeah,
men that you are not related to.
Not on a personal level.
So you don't know them. You don't know what they want, but you want them. Ma'am, I'm going to suggest that you really don't know what you want. And saying six figures is just something that you've got taken from out there. But I'm not hearing this rooted to anything. But what do you want ultimately? Do you want to be married, children, what?
Yes, I want to be married.
Do you want any children?
Yes.
How many?
I have a son now, so.
Okay. How old is your son?
He's 13.
Where's the father?
He's not in his life.
I didn't ask that. I said, where's the father?
Well, he's not like in it like I would like him to be.
All right, so let me go ahead and take this down, ma'am. Men who make the kind of money you're talking about have options, and typically they don't want to deal with women who have 13-year-old sons who are used to dating men. This doesn't sound appealing to the kind of man you're talking about. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I was thinking once I start booking session with you that
I can't change men.
I know, but I can approve myself, and I feel like I have a lot to offer to those type of men.
Okay, but see, you should have stopped right there. I just told you I cannot change men. And you said, once I
Right.
book a session with you, I'm not a miracle worker. I'm telling you what they want. And you're still saying, yeah, but I want them. They don't want you.
But I have been working on myself this year and booking your.
Okay, ma'am, but okay. 35, 13-year-old son with a sketchy father. Why would a man who's in the top 10% of earners, who women across the country want that?
Because I have a lot to offer. I feel like.
Would you want your son to, if you had a son making that kind of money, would you want him to bring home a woman who had a 13-year-old son from a sketchy father? Or would you prefer him to get a woman who had no children, was younger, and easier to get on his program?
Depending on his age.
See what I mean? See what I mean? This goes so deep for Black women. They will even, should have been an easy question. No, I would not want my son to bring, I want the best for my son. That should have been the appropriate answer. That's why I sat up. That is bullshit. You should want the best for your son.
Of course.
But and are you thinking,
if he brought home a woman, yes, I feel like I'm the exception to the rule. But
no, you're not. That's the problem. You all think you're the exception to the rule, but your life is proven to you that you're not.
My love life is not that good. I agree with you.
That's my point, and ma'am, and that's my point. You ladies all feel like, listen, you ladies all feel like you're the exception to the rule. And then when someone like myself comes along and gives you a dose of reality, instead of just accepting it, it's like, yeah, but I'm special. You don't know any men on this level that are not your father, that aren't related to you. That means you don't know these men. You don't know where to go get them. You don't know what they want. But you're still saying, pick me. They don't want mid-30-year-old baby mamas. I'm trying to be polite, man, but they don't want those.
Can I ask you a question?
Did you hear what I said?
Yes.
Why is that so? Okay, go ahead.
Why is it so what?
Go ahead.
From my point of view, I feel like I get what you're saying. They do have better options, but also those better options are younger girls. Those younger girls don't necessarily 20-year-olds are not necessarily attracted to 45-year-olds.
Bullshit. I'm 51 and I can't beat them off with a stick. That's another one on you lies. No, younger women are attracted to older men. What are you talking about?
So can you see me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. So do you feel like a woman like me?
Uh-huh. What would you rank yourself on a scale from 1 to 10? You cannot use 7.
Would I rate myself?
Just your face.
My face when I wake up, 5, but when I put myself together, 6.
Okay. And how tall are you?
5'5".
Dress size.
I'm sorry?
Your dress size.
A 3.
Okay. So that makes you, if you give yourself a 5, that's average.
Yes.
So average looking women tend not to get high earning men. They tend to get average men.
So,
stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there. Breathe and digest. You're 35 years old and you can look around and see the world. You don't tend to see higher earning men with average looking women off rip. If you do see them, they got their average looking woman when they were both really young and he built his way up. But a man earning the kind of money you're talking about does not go for an average looking woman.
I mean, my body is not average. So,
But you're, ma'am, you please don't make me say it.
Say what? I really just wanted some advice. I love your.
I'm giving you advice, but you're not taking it. The advice is, ma'am, you're average looking at best.
I'm taking it in, but
okay, but you're not accepting the fact that, okay, average looking women, average looking woman who's older, average looking older woman with a 13-year-old son, average looking woman with a 13-year-old son with a sketchy baby daddy. This gets worse every time I say something. And now you're asking for a man who's in the top 10% of men. You don't qualify for one. And you're making, I mean, I don't want to have to go there, but when you put in all these other factors, why can't you just get a man that's an average guy?
sometimes I feel like in order to fully submit, I have to feel like he's in.
Well, then you're gonna die alone. How about that? Let me just cut to the chase, ma'am. You can feel like what you want to, but women like you die alone, straight up, because you think you're better than the men that you qualify for. And the only reason, honestly, ma'am, that I can see a woman like yourself really thinking you deserve more is because you earn more money than most people around you in North Carolina. But if your ass worked at the post office, you would not think so highly of your opportunities. And that's the reality. Men don't care about your money. Not the kind of men that you want. We don't care about your money. It ain't ours. We care about the fact that you are older and you got kids. And you're average. And your reality of your life has showed you that. You don't have the kind of men that you want knocking on your door trying to find you. See, what we've done in this country, this world, is we've told women like yourself that you can have it all, and you got a Prince Charming who's 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, jawline, all this other kind of stuff. And I'm sorry, man. No. Most people get average people, especially average people. And you're an average person. I mean, let's be real. You're not running Microsoft. You got a pet grooming business. You've been making 6 figures for the last 3 years. Okay. But if I looked at you and I took all that off of you, all the eyelashes and all the hair, what do you look like under there?
I mean, I look the same.
No, you don't. Because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
I'm sorry?
No, you don't. You don't look the same because if you did, you wouldn't have all that on.
So what is your advice for women that...
All right, I'll tell you my advice, man, because you're not listening to me. This is why I always recommend you need therapy. People think most of us in the Black community need therapy, but you're not dealing with reality. I asked you about your child's father, and you couldn't answer me. But it doesn't sound like you're too proud of him. What kind of student is your child?
He's an A student.
Does he have any behavioral problems?
No, he actually got a YouTube channel, and he's trying.
I don't need no. But where is it? But his daddy is still. If his daddy is alive, does he have a relationship with his father?
Yeah, he does.
Then what's your issue with him?
He's not business minded like my father and my uncle. And
then why did you choose to make a baby with him before you got married?
Young and dumb. I was 16.
Exactly, and that cost. See? Yeah. That young and dumb shit, let me stop you right here. That young and dumb shit you Black women throw out as if it's supposed to get... Listen and listen well. women, young and dumb is not a get out of jail free card. It doesn't go woof and change the fact. You still have to carry that consequence. And men are not rushing up to be stepfathers to 13-year-olds. What would be better is if you honestly sat down and asked yourself, what value can I bring to a man?
And I know that what I can.
Well, all right. What value? What is it?
What is it? I can help him with his business. I'm very business minded on the end of helping organize. And I plant into planting my own garden, so I can definitely plant into improving my etiquettes with just self-improvement and working on myself. And
ma'am, at 35 years old, here's what you told me. I can help him with his business. Due respect, ma'am. And I mean no disrespect, but 20 to 30% of people own businesses. What about the 70 to 80% of men who don't own them? That means that doesn't matter. That means nothing to the average man. Then the next thing you said, I can plant. Ma'am, that means nothing to most people because we go to grocery stores. Then you say self-improvement. I gave you a shot at saying what you have to offer to men, and you said nothing that we value.
What do you value? What do y'all?
Book a session. I'm not doing this. Nope. I'm done. I've tried to go around, but this has happened. The older you ladies get, the more you get set in your ways. Book a session because I don't want to do this in public, man. Because you seem like a sweet woman, but you're not getting it.
You're being so mean.
I'm not being, don't tell me I'm being mean. I'm about to be mean. I get tired of you broads telling me I'm being mean because you cannot handle the goddamn truth. You called my show on a day that you ain't even supposed to be here. And I honored the call and sat here and tried to help you. And I'm telling me I'm being mean. Get the fuck out of my phone. I'm tired of y'all doing this shit.
It's not